Alright, welcome to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Randomizer. If you've never seen this before, this is an open world randomizer. Greatly in the spirit of the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise Randomizer, the people involved with that had a lot of help in setting this up. So, this is an open world randomizer of Final Fantasy VI where you start with a 1 to 4 characters on an airship, which you can use to transition between the World of Ruin and World of Balance. And you go around exploring the various towns, various dungeons, various event areas of the game, trying to collect characters, espers, powerful items, all the rest, with the main objective being, as in the normal FF6 game and most randomizers, taking down the final boss. Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide has recently been released from beta, as it were, and it comes with a huge host of various options you can do. Changing around the flags, the objectives, all sorts of different things can affect this, can affect the game here. And one of the interesting things that you can do is change the sprites. So I also should, let's see, let's turn it off for a second. Let me set this up. So one of my favorite memes, especially coming from my sisters who love it so much, are Moogles. Moogles are popular, recurring characters throughout Final Fantasies. And that's what we are looking at here. So the settings allow you to, there's a whole bunch of different sprites that are in the game, normal FF6 sprites, as well as a whole bunch of custom ones that various artists have created for Final Fantasy VI and contributed to the Worlds Collide main site. But you can also use a lot of the default ones, and one of the ones available is, of course, the sprite for Mog the Moogle, who's a recruitable character. And so I have replaced all of the normally replaceable characters with Moogles, so this is a what I call the War of the Moogles setup. And because Moogles play such a big part, I have set the objectives to recruiting 14 characters. In a standard race type setting of Worlds Collide, your standard competitive format, you would normally have to do a couple of objectives to reach Final Kefka. You can enter the final dungeon at any time, but the 3 switches that teleport you to the final battle won't activate until you've fulfilled these objectives. And normally it would be collecting 6 to 8 characters and probably around 8 to 12 espers. Your basic settings are 7 and 10, and sometimes you may be required to fight some of the 8 dragons. That's another common objective, but you can set all sorts of wild objectives, from doing certain actual regular in-game checks, as it were, or you can set them to doing gameplay story-related, or rather than gameplay, story-related segments like participating in the opera and a couple of things like that. This one is pretty simple, with unlocking 14 characters, who are all going to be Moogles, which will make this exceptionally interesting. And I'll go ahead and explain the rest as we get into the game, but so let's go ahead and show my timer there. And let's go ahead and, oops, got to make sure that I'm active here, or else it doesn't work. Okay, let's begin. So I have this auto tracker working, which will tell me what I have. So my equivalent Moogles here are Edgar and Gao. You can randomize quite a lot of things or keep it vanilla. I have some basic stuff randomized. Kumama, who is Edgar, has Fight and Morph, which is pretty normal. Gao's stats have been replaced with Lore, Shock, and he has one of the 2 natural magic slots that normally go to Terra and Celis. So that's pretty useful. Lore can have some useful abilities on it. Most of the Lore is your blue magic, if you're familiar with that from other earlier Final Fantasy games, called enemy skill in Final Fantasy VII, if that's your close equivalent. When an enemy uses an attack that qualifies for Lore, we will learn it. But Shock is an incredibly powerful ability that normally is available only to the partially... my controls are slightly messed up because I've been playing a whole lot of the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. and you have to hold down a button to run. Here, they have a nice quality of life feature for the randomizer where auto run is enabled. In the vanilla game, you have to equip sprint shoes to be able to run, so... With our powerful ability, we're going to go ahead and throw Gao in the back. I didn't really find anything useful in these first items. We'll check a monster in a box just to see what's there. Gigantos is probably going to just kill us instantly. Maybe not if that's the most damage he's doing. Though he probably has too many points to go through. But anyway, you may notice on my tracker here there are a number of different sections. That's actually really, really nice. That'll give us a large amount of EXP. Normally, the monsters in a box are too threatening to do early on, but starting with Shock really helped us out there. Shock is incredibly powerful. And Gao, at his base, actually has some pretty decent stats, so he's a good character. But anyway, because there is no natural progression, if you're familiar with other randomizers, especially a popular one like Zelda Link to the Past randomizer, that is item gated. There are various, you can't progress until you get certain items. You need power gloves in order to lift the light rocks, which block your progress through certain areas. You need the hook shot to get across certain gaps and access other areas. You need all of these different things, so with an item randomizer mixing everything up, your progress is impeded by that, so you find those to progress. But in a kind of open world RPG like this, without a lot of key items, the whole world is your oyster, theoretically, and you could do anything. So one of the base ways that they've set up the game to emulate a kind of unlocking places feeling is by adding in character gating. So there are certain checks you can do that have bosses which could give rewards of additional characters, espers to teach magic, or very, very powerful items from a select pool that's of end game items. These all are gated by characters related to that check. So, since I have access to the equivalent characters of Edgar and Gao, who everybody, again, are going to be Moogles, both us and a whole lot of NPCs, the checks I have access to are Gao's 2 checks, which is finding a character on the veldt, just as you would find Gao normally, feed him dried meat, and he joins the party, and then accessing the Serpent Trench through the cave on the veldt. So that's what those 2 symbols are next to him. While Edgar has a character... Ooh, good. Dried meat in this shop. I just need to sell something to get it. Hyper Wrist is an okay relic, but it's also worth a lot of money, so I'm just going to sell it for now. I ought to see if I can equip Guardian before I go selling that, though. I'm going to sell the Mithril Blade, though, too. It's not worth much. Okay, Fire Skiing, if I get a throw person coming back here for that would be nice. I'm also going to go ahead and pick up a few more Phoenix Downs, because you can die pretty easily in this game. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So for Edgar's checks, we can go and pick up a free character on the Throne of Figaro, where you would normally meet Edgar for the first time. And you can do the checks involving the Figaro Castle in the world of Ruin. First going underground to fight the tentacles in the engine room, and then going and using Figaro to go underground to reach the ancient castle. Do a quick save here in case something goes horribly wrong. So as we search the veldt, an encounter right off. It's Gigantos, naturally. Unfortunately, you don't get any experience here. And now we found something. One of the things about this particular type of meme setup is that... Whoops. Wrong item. I wasted a Phoenix down on that. It's supposed to use dried meat instead. That was funny how he blocked it, though. Okay, so we got the Magicite Shote. Unfortunately, not a character. The main... Although it's not bad to find Magicite. So Shote has access to what? Fire 3 times 15, which is really good. Pearl times 1 is okay. The rest are not particularly interesting. But still a pretty good find. I'm going to go ahead and heal first. The World of Balance Airship has a free heal as well as a shop, which I might check out later once I've actually acquired some money. So one thing I always like to do is, since these two checks are right next to each other, I always like to do the Serpent Trench check after it. This isn't very popular compared to many other checks because it has a couple of forced encounters. The original Moogle, Mog, has an item called the Moogle Charm that only he can equip, which prevents all random encounters. One of the other quality of life things the randomizer does is give you 3 Moogle Charms at the start and enable all characters to wear them, so that you can equip them or unequip them at your leisure, so that you can have encounters or not. But there are certain areas, quest areas mostly, that have set encounters, like the Serpent Trench here. So unfortunately we'll have to just deal with that. I don't mind them as much because it is a guaranteed place to get experience. Especially when you have something as useful as Gao being able to auto-blast everything. And I ought to be throwing on these powerful shields I got. And I've already learned Fire 3 with Kumama, so now he is extremely powerful as well, if he can afford to cast the spell. So the Serpent Trench has 2 branches that you can go through. The right branch both times leads you to a cave with a treasure in it. But we're going to be, especially after beating Gigantos and that treasure in the box, we're going to be pretty well set for experience for pretty much the entire game. Now, normally Final Fantasy VI doesn't give you experience from bosses. It was one of the first Final Fantasies to do that, along with Final Fantasy V, which really started the tradition. I think all the previous ones gave you experience for everything, so it was a little bit on the annoying side, but what can you do? And he can equip the Flame Saber as well, which is nice, because that gives +2 magic power. So, even though he can't really attack, he doesn't have an attack command because he's Gao, his shock ability will do even more damage because Flame Saber gives +2 to his magic. Gao normally doesn't equip any weapons because he's... his weapon changes based on the rages he uses. He's a very unique character in all of the final... Compared to all of the Final Fantasies, he might be one of the very most unique characters, with his rages totally replacing fight, and his ability to learn rages by leaving the party temporarily. You have to do this little puzzle, quote-unquote, to finish up this cave. Come over, hit the switch to drop the water, and then fall into a hole, which lets you reach this chest. So now we'll see what reward we get for doing the Serpent Trench, although I won't be able to tell until it tells me in a box. There are certain things, again, having everything replaced by Moogles means that normally you could... I got Cuckoo 7. That's nice because he has a lot of checks in this area, although first I'm going to be running to... You can equip the Guardian, that's nice. What does Sabin have? He has tools, so I need to start looking in item shops and weapon shops for tools. This is a relic shop, that's not going to have what I want. See, certain of the, oh, a Minerva to buy here, that'd be awesome if I could afford it. certain character sprites, yes, a drill, awesome, and an auto crossbow right here. What a good... Oh, I already own one. Nice. Probably because I started with Edgar or I found one, I can't remember. Anyway, that's an excellent start for him, using his brother's ability, and I have both an AoE attack and a single target attack that are very good. So we're going to go ahead and get the free check here in Edgar's Castle. This isn't the closest place to land near it, but I always have trouble finding the slightly closer one, so whatever. Having Edgar in the party, I can also buy from these shops at half price while I'm at it. Although, again, I don't have a lot of money yet or things that I can sell for it. He's in the lead, too, so that's convenient. So yeah, all of this is half price because he's in here. Dried meat, again, I could have gotten it here. That's very rare. There are many seeds where when I find Gao, or even at the beginning of the game, just in case I get him, I'm looking through all the item shops hoping to find something, and there's absolutely nothing available, and then you get seeds like this where the first two shops I check have it, and one of them is Edgar with Edgar where I could get it half price. It's pretty crazy. Alright, who's sitting on the throne here? Magicite Siren, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take off of that and give, although he doesn't need it as much, but wow, Meteor Murton Bolt. Murton is the most powerful spell in the game, in this version of the game, I should say, because most commonly, because Ultima is absolutely broken, there's an option that's commonly enabled, which is for this seed as well. And now I found a dried meat, too. Well, it's a free heal, so whatever. Where Ultima is disabled, you can never learn Ultima, which actually makes Murton the second strongest attack. The problem is that Murton hits your party as well, but it does both fire and wind damage, so if you can get absorption or immunity to fire and wind on all your characters, including all three elemental shields provide one or the other, then you can spam it with impunity. And now I ought to start doing Savins checks, so they can go pretty quick. Mount Colts also has a decent amount of... I autosave way too often, but it's a nice safety thing, which is good for marathons at least, when I contribute to those. But we'll be doing that. But so as I keep trying to say before interrupting myself, normally you can see who certain characters are at certain points. There are certain checks that can even be peeked before you complete them, as they call it in the Worlds Collide nomenclature, which means that you can check ahead of time, and if it isn't something you want, you can back out of the dungeon without fighting any bosses or encounters. However, that is impossible on this particular meme seed, because everybody who can give a type of reward, including imps, soldiers, merchants, who would normally show up if they're only going to give an item or an esper, ghosts as well. All of them are replaced by Moogles, so I don't know if it's going to be a character, which character, or if it's going to be a Moogle regardless, so everything is 100% blind. Which can be especially frustrating in a... It doubles down the frustration of this kind of seed, because I'm searching specifically for characters. So if I don't find any, let's see, did I put down him? Yes, I did. Nice to find Siren too. That's useful in the final battle against Kefka, one of the tiers. Alright, number 128 is our boss. Let's go ahead and auto-crossbow first, help get rid of those. Shock, and that should be enough on its own. Does he absorb fire? We're about to find out. Inferno does, he doesn't. He absorbs ice, that's right. I'm gonna be fine. Darn. Oh well. Well, that means Shock will do more damage to him. Like most AoE abilities, Shock does more damage against a single target. So he's dead now. Looks like we're getting a character here. This scene doesn't play out if it isn't a character. It would just give me the text box of what I earned. Kupan, who is Strago. Not the strongest character. I'll probably be replacing him before too long. His speed is very low. He has slot as well, so not going to be a big loss about that. I'll go ahead and give him Shout so that he can learn Fire 3, so he can do at least one semi-useful thing. Slot can give some powerful attacks, but it's so random and hard to do reliably that it just is not worth it. So one of the quality of life features of the game is that if you go into a dungeon with an entrance and an exit, when you go out the exit the other side, the airship follows you. Same with the Serpent Trench and all of those kinds of things. I can do Strago's checks now too, which is nice. He has some okay checks at least. Well, he has one... His checks aren't the best, to be perfectly honest. The one I like is one of the worst. This chest usually isn't worth grabbing, actually, probably to most people, because you have to go through this little cutscene to get the chest, but I like grabbing almost every treasure unless I'm totally done. Blizzard Orb probably wasn't worth it. That's a item that enables Umaro to use blizzard attacks, which can be good, but if he happens to run into a frost immune boss, or a frost healing boss that absorbs frost, he will often Okay, PM Stalkers. I forgot to heal up, so I'm glad that these are just PM Stalkers. Again, Gao has one of the higher magic and speed stats in the game, and those are generally the two most useful stats by a country mile. So him starting with Shock instantly makes him one of the very best characters you can get in the game. Let's see, have I picked up much in the way of potions and such? I haven't, unfortunately. Have you happened to... Oh, you've learned Cure 2 naturally. I was hoping for that. Good. And I actually have a few tinctures too, so if I need more healing, I can just give him tinctures. There won't be boss here though, so that's one of the good things. Normally you'd fight Kefgir. So yeah, Kefka's sprite as well is replaced with Moogles, so as well as all of the Imperial soldiers. So this is one of the more amusing checks in this particular meme seed, because you get to see lots of Moogles fighting Moogles. This is War of the Moogles. So I'm using, if you've watched me before, you may notice that the tracker is different. This is an online tracker. The one that was connected to Emo Tracker is kind of broke now, as you may have observed from my various things, and nobody has been, you know, able to take the time to fix it, but Kiel Basiago, as well as apparently some other people, have been helping him, but it's mostly hosted on his site, has developed an online tracker in that format, and I generally don't like using online trackers because they're a little more complicated and harder to capture with OBS, but it is a very nice tracker, and I'm very glad that I got it set up because it seems to work great. And it has some interesting additional information on it. So each of the colored segments, if you haven't figured that out yet, those are the character gating checks that you can do based on the characters. The red bar down on bottom is all the 8 dragons, who are, as I say, are often objectives, and who are programmed to give an additional bonus item as a reward in this game if you defeat them. Meanwhile, the section in black, the top section tracks how many characters you found. The one underneath it is how many Magicite or Espers you have located and acquired. The one below that, I believe, tracks the number of dragons. The Ultros symbol is tracking bosses. I believe the Imp is tracking total checks done. The treasure chest, of course, is tracking the number of treasures that I've opened up. And then the last 5, Realm. Realm is with jump. Well, if she can equip a spear and I get Dragonhorn, that makes her strong on her own. But just with the ability to use... with her much superior stats in the game, she has a decent speed and the highest magic stat, so Realm, sometimes called Murder Child by the community simply because of her sheer power, is definitely one of the best characters in the game. Her natural ability of Sketch is among the very worst, but just because you can teach her magic and she does such awesome damage and has good speed to boot, means that she's a very beloved character. Okay, let's see. I can do another Mithril Shield. Can you equip anything? The Plumed Hat. Okay. Gao, as I say, normally doesn't equip items, but one of the things the randomizer does or can do is allow a certain pool of random items to be equipped by any character. Or each character has a certain amount of extra bonus items they can equip from a random amount, so... And I need to just go straight south to get to here. So next check is the Phantom Forest. The thing about Sabin's checks is that he has 3 in a row really close to each other. If you happen to get Shadow, Cyan, and Sabin early, you can do basically the Sabin scenario from the vanilla game in order very, very quickly, racking up a lot of checks by doing Gao's house, Gao's father's house, which is where Sabin would recruit Shadow. There's a check there. Phantom Train is interesting because it gives you the check before you do anything else in the dungeon. So Magicite Odin. That's my 3rd Magicite. And what does it have access to? Slow and Strength +2 is all it gives. Well, considering my weapons and stuff, I think I'm going to throw that on Sabin. One of the other problems with this Moogle seed is I don't know who is who when I'm swapping between characters, unless I have a perfect memory. Just for the growth of Strength. Strength doesn't have a huge effect on damage, not nearly as much as most people think. Magic power is huge for determining how much damage you do with magic attacks, but Strength or Vigor, as it's normally called everywhere except for that screen, doesn't have nearly as high an effect on physical attacks. But it does help out, so if I get his Strength high enough, it will... one of the reasons why I sold the Hyper Wrist for the money, because it gives a 50% strength increase, which sounds crazy, but it only equates to like a 10% damage increase most of the time, depending on your strength. Not a whole lot. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's not big. Yeah, look at all the Moogles. That's what makes this a meme seed. Moogles everywhere. Friend, foe, fighting each other. And difficult for no reason. Again, another quality of life things is just eliminating most of the story beats of the game, as it were. Even little things like that. Normally you would slow that switch, disconnect the back car, you'd walk out and see it happen. And then walk back in and flip the switch to open the back door to get into the car, but here they just let you do both at once. Elixir, Tent, Circlet. Oh, Circlet is a great helm. It's basically an endgame helm. Aloe Vera is very annoying. He counters most things with Doom. Good news is he can't kill me because Realm comes equipped with a Memento Ring, which makes her immune to instant death attacks. So Realm, if nobody else, will be able to beat Aloe Vera. The other thing is that monsters in a box that don't give experience are not changed to give experience, so the fact that they're dead doesn't matter all that much. My reward for this is going to be Cuckoo's best weapon, too, so that's at least nice. Okay, there we go. So Tiger Fangs, which also gives a +3 magic increase, which isn't huge because I'm mostly using physical things right now, but I have 3 tents, so I'm just going to use a tent in the next car to revive my unconscious characters. Moogle tent. Hilarious. Unfortunately, one of them absorbs fire and the other absorbs lightning, and I'm not sure which it is when they're in this position. I'm just gonna fight. You can meteor. Probably ought to switch this onto Realm, so Realm can also use these incredibly powerful spell attacks. One of the reasons for keeping track of the number of bosses and checks that you've done is because the way that Free Enterprise handles the open world nature of it, so it remains a challenging game, is that your normal growth for enemies is determined by the number of particular checks you've done, or rather, the number of characters you've acquired, espers you've acquired, dragons you've defeated, and sometimes bosses you've killed. So it can be varied by those kinds of things to progress in the game. So at the very beginning, no matter what you find, it's going to be a low-level boss, although endgame bosses might still be extremely dangerous. Need to go ahead and throw those on you since we have it. Who do I want to give the circlet to? Probably Realm. While, oh yeah, I got Odin at the beginning. I was wondering, what check did I get from finishing that? I don't remember seeing it, but that's right. That's the one you get first. Yeah, so you've learned Murton and Meteor, which are the important spells, so let's... I like running this for marathons on occasion, but I'm not a real racer speedrunner of the game, as you would say, for this randomizer. I'm not one of the highest speed people for it because I still have too many vanilla habits that I can't shake, no matter how many randomizers I've watched and played and speedruns I've watched of it. And here's one of those endgame bosses who is very dangerous. He is immune to fire, or absorbs fire even, which is a problem. He likes to cast Stop. Meteor's the only spell I have that'll work on him. So he'll absorb fire, so Realm doesn't have anything either. I guess Jump to keep her out of the fight. Luckily, Shock is non-elemental and damages everything, so Shock is going to carry me pretty far in this game. But golly, that damage. I haven't found a lot of good armor yet. Ooch. Let's see, the person I want to keep up, although it might not matter. I'm going to stick my damage to the people who are actually capable of doing damage. And have these two around to raise them from the dead if they get hit. This is going to give me another ultimate weapon, though. If I survive this diffuser. Oh dear. Now, Flare Star is one of the most powerful fire attacks in the game. Ouch. Okay, so I'm probably going to need to gain some levels before I can take on Poltergeist, or get some good equipment. So I managed to make it this far without finding much in the way of equipment, simply because Gao is such an overpowered character. Good thing that I saved right outside of here. I am a compulsive saver, probably more than most people would be. Again, one of my vanilla habits over time-saving, speedrunning racing strats, but it definitely helps when you run in situations like that. So let's go collect some treasures. One of the things I usually do early that I skipped, because starting with Gao and killing Gigantos at the beginning gave us such a big boost, is coming here to South Figaro, which has a lot of treasures in it, many of which turn into awesome things. Ribbon won't help me with that, but it's a pretty good relic. And so how much money have I got now? 18k, so I can also look into... Oh, I found a Minerva. Yes. See, that's why this is such a good early play. There are a lot of items, and somehow you almost always find something really, really good in the chest here. So you can choose to keep vanilla items if for some reason you prefer to, although just randomizing chest contents is pretty standard. Earrings, okay. That's even more damage, so again, that's something good for us. Actually, if I'm going to buy items, I ought to... Although I didn't see warp stones there. I need to... Oh, I started with 5 warp stones. That's right, so I don't even need to buy any. There are a couple of dungeons where it's quicker to get out of with warp stones. I'm going to go ahead and check our equipment once... once I'm done looting the town. Oh, Genji armor. That, I know, can go on at least one of my characters. Flame shield. Alright, if I can buy a flame shield, that'll make one character almost immune to anything he can do. What can I get rid of? Aura, maybe? Aura is an okay sword, but it doesn't do much else. Blizzard Orb is probably worth selling, because even if I get him, it's not great. Breakblade is also not a great weapon, but sells for a lot. Okay. We'll sell these because they're trash. Doom Dart, same thing. Rising Sun, same thing. It's attack power, but nothing else. If it doesn't give stats, it's not really a good weapon to use most of the time, especially if you've already found good magic. Drainer as well. Okay. Can I buy... I can now buy 2 of these shields, so... And then if one of my characters can equip the Minerva, that's 3 characters that are immune to fire. Which means that they, Diffuser will still hit, but pretty much all the rest of, and he can still stop us, but pretty much all the rest of the stuff that Poltergeist can do to us, we're immune to, so. Not to mention that just having the, fire shields and Aegis shield and the Minerva and all that will... Oh, Gem Box! Yes! Tortoise Shield. No. There's a check here for Sealess. If when you have Sealess in the party, that's the save point. I know that I don't need that. Another warp stone. Okay. Ether. Last 2 chests. Peace ring. Green beret. Actually, not last 2 chests because we have access to this as well. Slightly messed up in some of my thinking because of having played through the Pixel Remaster for a couple of weeks and not played the Randomizer. So I'm thinking something else. And gold hairpin. Awesome when combined with the gem box because that lets you do 2 spells for the price of 1 in a single turn. If I can find 1 more fire immune, I can even use Murton, but not on Poltergeist because he's immune to fire, and Murton is fire as well. So, but yeah. So if I can afford to buy 1 more flame shield, that would do it too. Heavy shield. I don't know if I really got enough that I would want to sell. I mean, I could if I sold a bunch of other useful items, but okay. So that was a haul, which should really help me out here. Okay, Green Beret and Genji armor. Gao can equip the Minerva. That's awesome. Okay, so that means we can throw the flame shields on you. I'm going to give the circlet actually to Kuru. Yeah, I'm going to give you the Green Beret. Alright, I'm out of good armor, but that gives everybody a lot more defense and magic defense for the most part. Those 2 are still a little vulnerable because they don't have really good armor, but just the flame shields aren't super great, but it should be enough. One of the things I could potentially do is try and get Realm through something so she can learn the meteor magic so she can do something else and then everybody can contribute damage. Because she has... Alright, I didn't do this before saving, but yeah, we need to swap over. Give her Siren so she can learn Meteor and Murton. Go ahead and have him learn Pearl and Stop from Shout. And you're learning from Odin. This is one of the things I talk about that I spend too much time doing is checking espers and spells and stuff when they're not really a big thing. Oh, relics. That's the other thing I'm forgetting. Okay. Give her gold hairpin and gem box. Give you earrings and ribbon. I'll put the Moogle charm back on once I'm done fighting. Go ahead and give you hyper risk so you'll do more physical damage. Might as well. I could sell that. You can equip the memento ring, so might as well. And then I can equip the Moogle charm when I'm done fighting a battle to learn fire. Because essentially 1 battle with 1 magic point should be enough to teach, or meteor. Might be a bit more. Epi, oh, these are easy. Let's go ahead and shock them and just be done. So with that, I should be able to learn Meteor with Kushu, and then she'll be able to do some damage to Poltergeist as well. As well as giving us another level on everybody so that we're a little stronger. But yeah, normally you don't earn experience from bosses, but one of the quality of life things that's put in the randomizer, which you can turn off if you want to play the game more vanilla, but it makes it a more fun experience. They turn on experience for bosses and calculate an amount to give you based on its level and who the boss is. And it's very much... Stop on him again. Well, that's fine since we're... let's go ahead and morph so we do more damage. This is a good time to morph. Morph Sprite again is a recolored Moogle with blue wings and red eyes. Chose the right one it could do damage to. Sandstorm, that's not good because it's not something we're prepared for. This should probably finish him. He shouldn't have too much HP left. Yeah, there we go. Oh yes, and we learned Fire 2 from the shields too, so that'll be pretty useful for Sabin if I want him to use something else instead. So that's all of Sabin's checks here in the World of Balance. I always like doing the World of Balance checks first for the most part. Oh my, a Paladin shield. Normally that would teach Ultima, but it is our final... I'm going to go ahead and give her the Paladin shield. Nope, that isn't her. That was the wrong person. I should know by the... at least. Alright, so go ahead and give you the Flame Shield. So now we can use Murton because we're totally flame protected. The Paladin Shield absorbs or deflects all 8 elements. Aegis Shield is technically a little better than Genji for you because of the better block, even though it's better defense. But since he has Minerva already, as well as Circlet, it's probably fine. But yeah, generally I really like to do all of the World of Balance checks first before going to the World of Ruin, and then doing all the World of Ruin checks I can before going back to the World of Balance. Just as I find it a little bit more convenient. Let's go ahead and have you cure up the party again. Iron Armor is worst armor in the game because it lowers speed. Now again, this is one of those peekable checks because Realm wanders around here before you find her in the vanilla game, and they kept that here. So you would see who the sprite is, but again, since everybody are Moogles, I don't know if this is an imp or soldier or ghost that would give me stuff, or if it's a character. Oh, Inferno. That is bad news. Another endgame boss, and one who is immune to fire again. But I can X-cast Meteor. I need to rest up so I get my mana back, though. I'm gonna morph again. It's another endgame boss. It's probably worth it. I forgot to put the Aura Lance on Edgar, too. Okay, he wasn't as bad as I thought he would be. Which isn't surprising. I mean, the Poltergeist and the other two of the Warring Triad are supposed to be the final test before Kefka, so they are supposed to be the strongest bosses in the game, but considering that he gained another 2 levels, I would have thought Inferno would have more hit points than that. Fixed Dice, which is one of the ultimate weapons in the game, which combined with the offering can allow you to easily break the damage limit. Normally only usable by Setzer. If someone in the party can use it and I find an offering, it can be a very, very powerful tool. As it is right now, I'm not super excited by it. Especially since my main objective is to collect 14 characters. bit of a unique dungeon in that you finish the dungeon by going into the event and meeting the Espers in the vanilla game, but that doesn't happen here because it's a randomizer. So it's just a place you fight the boss in the middle of it, get a couple more chests, and then best thing to do is just warp stone out. One of the reasons why you want to have warp stones is for dungeons like this. Now, I ought to go ahead and refresh on the airship here. I need to go to an inn to advance the next portion, but you don't get you actually get refilled after the encounter is over, and there are also a lot of enemies that we're going to have to fight, so that also makes this a bit of a troublesome area. I don't have enough money to go checking shops again yet. I may check shops again later, but for the most part, I'm pretty well set up. It's just simply because of damage. Gao can heal outside of battles. Pretty wimpy enemies, I'm glad. Again, they are higher level than you would find them normally because of how far I've progressed in the randomizer, but they're still weaker enemies. Auto crossbow is relatively weak, since it is supposed to be an early game item. It's absolutely broken in the early game of the vanilla game. There we are. Aura Lance. Most of the rest of the items don't matter. Everybody have magic power increasing weapons, which is good. Probably gonna have to go through this fire, yep. Normally, one of the qualities I have that makes things difficult for me is a bit of a timid nature. I'm always afraid of not being powerful enough to deal with things, and especially bosses. I really like being able to get some experience. So I'm normally a fan of these otherwise... Oh, magical brushes should be better than mithril rod. Yeah, it's -1 magic, but it is +1 speed, so... So I really like the checks that I can do that will have battles, because even though they take a little bit longer because of the battles, getting some relatively guaranteed experience, depending on how tough the encounters might be, I find very useful. Good for my peace of mind, good for helping up. Once you've gotten... Unfortunately, these ones don't even give experience anyway, which is one of the problems that feeling a semi-strat of mine often runs into. Now number 124. All the magic-based bosses is... I have a feeling that Magimaster might be coming very soon. Which isn't so bad, because normally, since you can run into it anywhere and can't prepare ahead of time, and might not have the tools to deal with it, you can turn off Magimaster's Ultima, which is a default setting, because again, your progression could be the only way to progress the game to get a character to unlock more checks. Might be behind... Okay, Magicite. Fenrir isn't super exciting, but oh well. It might be behind Magimaster, and so if he uses Ultima, the only solution might be to grind out to like level 90 or something, which generally isn't fun. So except on the hardest challenge categories, it's generally a default to have that turned off. Okay, what does Fenrir give? Fenrir is a really good Esper to have, though. I have the 2 Espers I really need for Kefka. He gives Pearl ×6, Murton ×20. Those would be more exciting if I didn't already have them. HP plus 50%. Did anything give magic power? I wasn't really paying attention. Just stamina. Siren gives nothing. We've already learned with Shoat, so... Go ahead and teach you some magic too, because it might be useful. At the very least, having Fire 3 will be useful for the first Kefka battle, but this is pretty much already looking to be my final party. I might replace Edgar with somebody, because what does he even have? Morph. Although with Morph, he's pretty strong too, quite honestly. But I got off to a pretty lucky start having a powerful Gao who was able to kill a first Gigantos, because that gave me enough of a level boost that I'm in perfect shape. So let's go ahead and go to the World of Ruin. Start doing some of these checks. Now, the one problem with Gao is that I won't be able to use him in... I won't be able to use him in the Cult of Kefka Tower, which is Strago's check closest to his face there, where Magimaster normally is located, because just because of how the tower works of turning off magic, if you don't have Fight as your first or second option, or Rage and Leap as his first and second option, just the game's programming doesn't know what to do with him, and so it doesn't allow him to use anything except for items. So unless I get some items that he can use instead, I don't have much that I can do with him. I'll go ahead and try Chainsaw. It does more damage, but the problem is it has a 1 in 4 chance of missing bosses because it will try to instant kill them, but they can't be instant killed. Otherwise, it's got the exact same properties except higher damage. Master Pug counters everything with Step Mine, which is somewhat troublesome, especially in this area. He gives the Gladius, or Graiadus, as they translate it here, which I think is a really cool name. It's the most powerful dagger in the game, can be used by most characters, so for a lot of caster people, if you're trying to attack, it's one of the best attack options. Ooh, 13k, that's nice. The one issue is that because it does holy damage, there are a lot of bosses that absorb holy, and a lot of enemies that absorb holy, and so all of a sudden you might be... Oh, and the super cheap Lobo battle. Just finish it with your brush. Yay, 300 experience. That was the experience I needed. But in general, we're in incredibly good shape. The main thing I'm looking for with the monsters in a box is I want to find Katana Soul and get the offering, especially since I have found fixed dice. So one of my characters, if they can equip fixed dice, they are instantly a high damage deal. It's a little slow, but it's just so much damage that it's definitely worth it most of the time for a lot of bosses, even Final Kefka. If the person I can use it is here in the party at least, or if I get Setzer early enough and he's useful enough to replace Edgar. Although that'll be hard. Let's see, so we got Go-Go. Go-Go is a potentially really useful character because you can give him most abilities, not Shock, however. Unfortunately, his equipment list is kind of bare, though he does have a lot of magic boosters, and his base stats are low and can't be increased with Espers. Economizer, oh wow. Okay, that's even better than Gold Hairpin. Alright. Give you the Gold Hairpin, so because these two are casting anyway, so now they're both very, very efficient casters. It was worth checking to see if that was anything good, since I was right there anyway. So next check, let's go ahead and do Jidor. Another place where you can get a couple of guaranteed battles if you feel you need the experience. Not one of the best checks, though, for most people because of that. The more you can avoid fighting in the game, the faster it goes, of course. Especially if you already have the tools you need to win. But, let's see, Yowzer has an item up here. Genji Glove, okay. So we can do a wield, turn on the light. Turn on the light. Double-clicked it. There are 2 required battles if you don't do the rest. I'm just gonna let those two do their free things and not worry about the other two characters most of the time here. The main thing I'd like for battles right now is to get money, maybe to see if I can buy more Minervas or flame shields for the rest of the party. Although I'm already set up, so I don't even really need that, so money isn't even much of a requirement. Oh yeah, there's a chest back here too I always forget about. That's where you get the relic ring or lich ring in the base game, and I always forget about it. I actually just discovered it on accident last night because I'd totally forgotten about it, and I've skipped it in every randomizer and playthrough and for quite a long time. And then somebody on the RPG Limit Break Discord was asking if you could get back into this dungeon later. No, we're going to do Meteor. Maybe I should go ahead and do Murton, because we're immune. So I'm like, I don't know, but I'll load up my Pixel Remaster and check. So I did, and yeah, you can get back into this dungeon after you've completed it, which I figured you probably could at the very least. Weren't sure what events were working. Most of them still are. And I was just playing around back there and found the chest with the Lich Ring, and I was like, oh, this is where you find it. Now I remember. I had done that as a kid, but it'd been so long I'd totally forgotten about that hidden chest. Atma, another endgame boss with a lot of immunities. Can't use Murton on him. He absorbs fire as well, so we're going to have to just use Meteor again. Because Meteor is intended to be a damage all type of spell, its damage is not as great as single targeting like the level 3 spells. But even so, it is non-elemental, absorbs, it never misses, it goes through reflect, so it's a pretty darn useful thing anyway. Okay, clean sweep. I don't think I'll ever use it since I already have shock, but he absorbs holy as well, so I can't use Pearl on him, unfortunately. Using the weight trick, which is pretty common in Final Fantasy VI circles. His magic power is pretty low, though. Damage is still good. It's not like 1500 is anything to sneeze at, especially since we're only level 30, but compared to the 5k that Gao is now doing with shock. 1200 from a morphed Edgar is not great. It'd be nice to find a Esper that gives magic power up. I could throw it on my 3 magic casters and get their magic power up so that I could... Looks like this is going to be a character. Because they usually only do... Nope, okay, it is a still a Magicite. They eliminate a lot of those cutscene type interactions if it isn't a character. Flare, Murton again, Bio, MP plus 50%, so that's... Okay, we'll go ahead and throw it on Kirin first so she can learn it. Nope, that isn't Kirin, that's still him. Keeping you stuck on Odin for now. Okay, you were doing it, and you've learned... Yeah, easily learned everything. Go ahead and give you Flare and Bio. I guess for Drain, because you have everything else. You haven't learned Murton or Meteor yet. Not that you really need it, because you have Shock, but, you know, whatever. So one of the fun things about Randomizer is that you get to use Shock, because normally it's not something available to the party. Because, it's... Uh-oh, here's Doomgaze. Umaro. Okay, well, this is, Shock. This why not? He's going to go down right here. That's actually, it's been a long time since I encountered Doomgaze without meaning to. Or I've actually got the random encounter. He's effectively a random encounter. He doesn't quite work the same way, but whenever you get on the airship and start flying, it designates one square on the map as Doomgaze's location. And so if you fly into that spot, you encounter Doomgaze. In the randomizer, because searching for Doomgaze, who, you know, in vanilla gives an Esper and therefore is worth a check. He's one of the ones in black that requires no character. But finding him randomly can be an extremely frustrating experience if you're trying to find him. So the randomizer allows you to search for him deliberately if you have Setzer in the party, because Setzer is connected to the airship. So Setzer is kind of worth 2.5 checks if you haven't found Doomgaze before you get him. But all I wanted to do here was get this quick free heal. Because there aren't too many available in the world of Ruin. As I mentioned, the... Let's go ahead and check Carbuncle, see if it's got anything useful. Vanish, Word, W Wind, Ice 3. Okay, I'd like to get Ice 3 before... Well, no, Flare is really, really good too. Let's go ahead and have you learn Ice 3 over that, though, and then we'll swap it. And yeah, you're learning Siren. Maybe it's time to go ahead and... What's your Vigor up to? 121? Okay, I think you've got enough Vigor. Again, it doesn't increase damage all that much, and it's at the point where it's probably doing almost nothing, so... Murton would be more useful in battles anyway for him to cast, even with his lower magic power. Alright, where am I headed towards now? I'd forgotten because of that. Oh, I just picked up Go-Go, so I can go do the Go-Go check. I kind of hate this check too, but it's a free check, doesn't require any battles, so... First, we're going to reform the party. This old man here hasn't given up yet. Who do I have it on? I have it on Edgar. So, Edgar, you get to do this encounter. Although it doesn't matter for well over. I don't have to adjust anything else. I should have actually put one of the people I don't use in the party. When you're going for this, doing it with a single party member is generally best because Zone Eater has to inhale the entire party to put you into Go-Go's dungeon. And so the fewer people he has to inhale, the more time you save. As long as that person can equip a Moogle Charm. So in Vanilla, you want to do it with Mog alone. In the randomizer, any character is fine, but you ought to go to one, because it'll save time over having to get 4 inhaled, especially if you get a situation like this, where Zone Eater decides he's going to just use Demi. He has like a 1 in 4 or 1 in 3 chance of using Demi, so if you get more than 1, you're incredibly unlucky. And so because of the way RNG actually works in video games, it happens a lot more often than it should, just to troll you. Because it often seems like they're sentient. So this is a pretty exciting cave in Vanilla because there's a lot of good items that you can find in here. 16k is kind of exciting, because I can go and get a lot of good items. A ribbon is okay. Full moon is not. With the randomized loot, this isn't generally much better than stuff you'd find anywhere else, so these frustrating chests... It's not a difficult dungeon, but it is one of the more frustrating ones. Running shoes are really good, auto haste. But it's one of the more frustrating because of these trolls on the bridges, trying to get past them. So far, it's actually been relatively kind. You always want to take one fall anyway in order to get the items. And I've got all the items now, so now I just have to get around this guy here, and I'm done. Okay, good. The second part I always save because I'm the kind of person who still messes it up. As long as you're quick and know what you're doing, it's pretty safe. But you have to get through this room. You can get to the second chest, which they do in Vanilla, because this first chest does not have any good items in it if you don't bother to open the chest. The third chest does not have a save point, so never rest there. Public service announcement. Rather, the best thing to do is just make sure you sprint to the end, grab the chest, and then head south as fast as possible so you don't get crushed. Now, there's an interesting glitch in this room. If you're running full tilt, and you're moving as the thing falls, it can even let you run onto a spot that you normally couldn't reach, which doesn't allow you to do anything. But you might even run south beyond the door plane or such things, and so you have to run back up. Or I've walked into the middle of the open space and thought I'd somehow stumbled across a secret passage I'd never seen before, secret invisible walkway, but it was just this weird glitch that the impact causes a weird thing that may make you move. This is another place you want to warp stone for as well. Marvel shoes, even more amazing than the running shoes. Unfortunately, not what I'm looking for, though, because I'm trying to collect characters more than anything. Oh, yes. Figaro Castle is where I wanted to go next. So, now I have these demi problems, but that's okay. I can just heal up with Gao. The big problem is that I haven't gotten any healing from my espers yet, so that's a little bit of a problem. Not super duper bad because Gao can heal out of combat, or I can use him as emergency healing, but since he's my biggest damage dealer, I really don't want to do that. Oh, everyone's restored to full health now. Nice. Okay. So it'd be nice if I could find an Esper with healing magic on it. Not totally necessary. Especially if I could track down a shop that sells elixirs or mega elixirs, but it's a little concerning. So in the randomizer, World of Ruins City, all of the outside chests, not the ones inside the buildings, but all the outside ones have brand new stuff in them. Force armor is actually really good at this point because I have such little good armor. I ought to go ahead and check the armor shop after finding all of this money. Also, a few things I could sell. Because the one thing I'd really like for my characters at this point are decent helms, maybe. That would be okay. As well as, there's nothing I need down there. No items in there, any of those areas. Chocobo suit. Okay, that's a good suit for Realm, at least. Guaranteed. Maybe some decent helms and some decent armor. The Chocobo suit helps out a bit. It's a lot better than the Silk Robe. It gives mostly speed, maybe only speed, but it's pretty big speed boost, so even if it's a loss of magic power, it's probably worth it. Which I think it is, slightly. Yeah, it doesn't give any magic, but plus 6 speed, plus to the other stats. Force armor's better there, so I have okay now, so I don't need as badly, but I could put that on Sabin. No, that's for Gao. Definitely don't want a Gao. Oh, Mystery Veil helms are good. And that's all I can do there, huh? Well, at least I have a couple more decent helms, because I didn't find too many of those either. That's Realm who can use the Mystery Veil, which is actually good. Okay, now we all have decent helms, we all have decent armor. We all have relatively decent weapons. I'd really love to find a Magus Rod for Realm so that to give her even more magic power, but for the most part, we're pretty well set. Since Gao can't use any weapon naturally, I'm not super duper big on finding him an improvement over the Flame Saber. Plus 2 magic power is among the best weapons he could possibly get, unless he can use a powerful rod magic item thing. But Realm's plus 1 to all stats is merely okay. I'd really like to give her a magic power boosting one. Sabin is pretty much the best weapon he can use, and same with Edgar. Sure, Edgar could find like an Illumina. He can use an Illumina guaranteed if nobody else can, so that's 7 to all stats, but I'm not going to sweat over it. Still going to be grabbing items, but I'm probably not going to be checking shops anymore at this point, really. Kind of hoping to find something cool in that shop while I was there that's better than Chocobo suit and maybe Force armor, but this is good enough equipment for the end game. The Moogle and the Gang of Thieves. One reason, I really am a big fan of the Moogle sprite, and so I am quite amused by the number of Moogles being everywhere, especially when we have big battles of Moogles. Likely when I find Mog, if he isn't the last character, although I might have to do it beforehand, but trying to save efficiency by doing checks that are in a row, as we'll see when we get to that point. But the Kefket and Arsh scenario is another hilarious one because all of the enemy sprites are replaced by Moogles. So it's another part of the War of the Moogles segment. It was awful. Oh yeah, I have to clear this part before I can access. Experience egg. That is tempting indeed. Yeah. Let's go ahead and give you Marvel Shoes. That's the best I can use for now. I might want to put the Marvel Shoes, or at least the running shoes, on Gao once he's gained some more levels from Experience Egg. But the idea of him getting even more levels to make his shock more powerful, even at this stage of the game, just is very titillating. Such an amusing idea. If I find Magic Power, I can swap somebody onto Magic Power too. A Magic Power boosting Esper, I mean. I can give the Experience Egg and the Esper to that person to increase their magic. Starting with Edgar and then probably Realm. Okay, not at all scared of this fight. I'm just going to drill Vargas for guaranteed damage, shock. Double fire 3 him. Yeah, I figured shock would likely kill the bears on its own. He's still alive. I'm pretty impressed, actually. I figured he'd go down to 5k, 6k damage. Still going. Okay. There we go. Alright, I have half my characters. That isn't too bad. Snow Muffler, wow. Even better armor. Sort of. Depending on who can use it. Like, it'd probably be worth putting on Realm if she can use it. Or Sabin. Okay. Absorbs ice, halves fire damage. Oh, there's an item I missed. I don't. I need to know. I want items. I'm not at a point where I can ignore every item. I was distracted, but there is one item back in this treasure room. There are 6 empty chests, but their statue has something. Running shoes, okay. Hard to say if it was worth it or not because I have a good amount of relics I don't really want to replace. But no, definitely I could throw that on Edgar in the final fights at least. I have to use up 1 slot on a Moogles charm right now. But once I get to Kefka's dungeon and I can spread out my 4 characters, somebody else can use a Moogle charm and I can set them up for the end game. So I can replace the running shoes there. So the Ancient Castle, this is very much quality of life improvement here. Normally, of course, once you do this underground, you'd use the Figaro Castle to go across the continent so that you could meet Setzer and Collingen and then go to Daryl's Tomb to get the airship, and then you never bother with Figaro's Castle again. But then, until you pay 100,000 gold to a thief in order to learn that there's a castle under Figaro Castle, so you decide to go drilling around through the ground, and then you bump into this. Okay, here's French Vanilla Katana Soul, so now I don't care about monsters in a box. They're not going to have anything I really need or care about. Do I have metal? I haven't gotten metal. You can muddle him. He's vulnerable to that, so that's pretty nice. He does a lot of elemental damage, but we're pretty immune to elemental too, so he's not that scary. He gives an offering, so if I find Atma Weapon or Valiant Knife and someone who can use it, or if all else fails, I can use the fixed dice. Any of those characters become an instantly powerful, game-wrecking character, especially if they're high level. Except for Gao. It wouldn't work with Gao because Gao can't use Fight. But any other character who can use it, doesn't matter how much strength you have, all that matters is your level and what you roll on the dice. Doesn't matter the enemy's defense, whether you're in the back row or front row, anything attacked from behind, any of their evasion, especially, it just all works out perfectly well. 58k money too, so if I do find a good shop, I ought to remove the, since I've seen it in the shop, I'm going to check a couple of things really quick. I'm going to remove the Minerva so that I can look at who can use it. Kuru is still the only one, so that's unfortunate. If I could buy those for everybody, it would be worth it. Now that I've got the offering, let me check the fixed dice too and see who can use it. Kuru can use that as well. Unfortunately, as I just said, Kuru doesn't help matters, so if I get Setzer early enough to level him up, or somebody who can use the fixed dice because of randomness, it'd be worth it. None of the other monsters in a box are going to be worth checking out now. They'll only have an inferior weapon for Sabin, which isn't really good enough to put on anybody else either to worry about it. It's just +1 magic. Fight power really doesn't matter much in this game most of the time, especially if you've already got powerful other tools. And most of the other stuff is pretty cheap and not useful, so we're going to be ignoring the vanilla chest, which is in that room to the left. Alright, go ahead and activate the secret passage. Revivify Punisher, meh. Punisher is a staff that sells for decent. That blinking light is story plot, so let's go ahead and fight our dragon here. I always like fighting the dragons if you get them for the rewards. A lot of people... Oh yes, Dirt Dragon, perfect. That's the one I was hoping for. He drops the Magus Rod guaranteed, which is +7 magic that Realm can equip. So Realm is going to be ultra powerful at that point. I need to swap around my things now. Double Flare. And she's gonna do even more damage once she's got +7 magic on. Magus Rod is the best weapon in the game for 3 characters: Strago, Realm, and Gogo. And I also get a red cap, which is a decent helm. Better than the green beret in any case. The others, I'd rather keep the magic boosting helms for them, but red cap, and it's even more vigor for his physical based tools. And there. This is one of the few where I know it's not a character, because if it was a character, it would be a Moogle. Stray, okay. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and check these. What is Stray? Got Doom and Life 3. Okay, at the very least I'll have Life 3, even if I don't have any other kind of healing. I haven't missed any healing, right? Regen. Kirin itself might be one of the best espers to use at endgame at this point, simply because I can put regen on the party with it. And so I'll teach you that. Let's go ahead and have you learn... who has it? Carbuncle has it. Ice 3. Let's go and have you learn Keyring next. And you, I guess you've learned that Shoat. Only has Stop. Okay, Siren. That's good. Fine. Good to teach him some spells so he can do some stuff. I ought to check a couple of weapon shops so that I can go do the tower, because if I can find any number of breakable rods, I can use those, have Gao just use those, and the fact that he can't do anything else in the tower won't matter. The others are powerful enough on magic, they'll be fine. If he can contribute with rods, he'll do plenty of damage. Unfortunately, you can't get out of this area quick. So, because, yeah, the only checks I have left are the ones I don't want to do, which is Hedon and the Cultist Tower. The Cultist Tower would be fine if I had some items for Gao to use, because all I have to worry about is killing the two bosses. I could probably do it without him, but it'd definitely go quicker if I had some rods. And unfortunately, I haven't found any. I could go buy some fire shields and use those instead. I generally don't like to use shields, but it's actually a perfectly viable strat. I should go ahead and use the time that I'm here to have Edgar get us some cheap goods. Alright, potions, because I have nothing else. Revivify in case I run into undead, which is kind of silly. Some remedies. Not Phoenix down here. This is a different shop than in the World of Balance. I was wondering if that might be the case, but since I don't see Phoenix Downs, I know it's the case. Hopefully this guy will have some, otherwise I'll have to do that later. Okay, good. Phoenix Downs, just for safety. Do I care about anything else? Not really. Not out of the stuff that he has. Okay. Now I have to walk back to the airship. This is the one time where you have a little bit of a walk back to your airship after completing a check, because it can't bring it closer to Figaro Castle. And unless you get the last thing you need from Figaro Castle, you pretty much are always going to want to go straight to the ancient castle after doing that, because otherwise it's wastes even more time to come back. The one thing I care about is finding rods. No rods. How much money do I have? 75k? Would it be worth it to go back and just grab some flame shields? I don't know, or would it be better just to keep looking for rods? I didn't check the weapon shop here in Jidor. That's the armor shop. Weapon shop is this one. Nope. Probably wasting my time to do this. I ought to just use Gao as a medic. I'm going to go ahead and try one more. Or I'll just try everyone on my way to the Cultist Tower, perhaps. Which won't be too many more. I think Zen is on the way. I don't want to go... I'm going to check Albrecht first, because there are items I can pick up too. I haven't bothered yet. Gravity Rod, but that won't work on bosses, so... Although I should check Enhancer. Can be used by Edgar. Who is that going to be? Edgar and Sabin? Worse than their mains, but would give +7 magic. That's kind of... That's actually kind of tempting. Most people look at Enhancer's low attack power and think that it's not a great weapon, especially since it's store-bought, but it gives an unbelievable 7 magic power. The highest of anything, you know, tied with Ragnarok, Illumina, the Magus Rod. That's an unbelievable amount of magic power, so generally it would be, especially for Kefka's Tower, straight up better than the ultimate weapons that they already have their hands on, but... Why am I looking at this? Ooh, I can get Flash. That's magic power based. So better against some enemies than the auto crossbow. A lot of enemies, actually. Just Mithril Rod, which you can't break. Vinci Brush, but I already have... that isn't as good as Magical Brush anyway, I don't think, and I already have. The Magus Rod, so I don't need any of the brushes. Okay, disappointment here. Alright, we'll do Zen, and if we don't find anything here, tough luck. Yeah, we'll just have to be a non-combatant in the tower. Alright, where's Zen? I've lost it. It's the other desert south of here. How mean of them to put two deserts right next to each other in this area. Nope, just Gravity Rod. Too bad. Okay, Gao, I'm sorry. You're just not going to be of much use here. But Edgar and Realm especially should be able to carry me. Maybe I'll get lucky and find a shield that I can break or a rod that I can break while I'm going up the tower. A couple of them, preferably. If I were smart, I would probably ignore the dragon in here as well, since I'm short a party member, essentially. But I'm going to go ahead and do it, because... I forgot the extra place. Oh well, I'll do it on the way down. Moogle's suit is theoretically better than the... Yeah, especially since I already have... I'll lose all the speed, but I'll get even more magic power. Also makes her look like a Moogle. Hey, she already looks like a Moogle. She already is a Moogle. Dragon, I'm challenging you anyway, so there. Red Dragon. That's where Ice 3 is useful, which don't have yet, so double flare. You unfortunately have not learned a lot, but I think Pearl should be okay. Yep, see, can only use item because of the weird way the game is programmed. Pearl is a faster cast animation than Flare, that's interesting. Probably should have had Edgar morph as well, but might not likely make a difference. I'll do it for the boss at the top. The good news is, yeah, he's going to be... Yep, I thought it wouldn't take long. He also, you know, is only going to use fire magic pretty much, and we're all immune to fire, so... Pearl Lance, okay. Checking really fast to see if I had any better. Is there? No, we're gonna keep going. Ah, Espers. Want to go ahead and keep on learning better stuff from them. Now that you've learned that, let's get you life 3. teach you Carbuncle just because. I guess Choke, because you have nothing else you can do at the moment. Another red cap. Don't really want to put it on anyone in my party, though. I prefer the magic boosting helms. It does give a beefy amount of HP. Paladin, another paladin shield. Okay, we are absolutely... Goodness. And we're all in such good armor, I don't even need it on anyone else. Okay, I guess go ahead and give it to Gao. Theoretically, that could have meant I could have put it in place of one of the flame shields instead, and then used the flame shield as a break item for this battle. But oh well. Okay, evil Moogle, who are you? What boss is stalking me here? I have only 6 cards, not 7. Rexel, very bad. Because he is immune to fire and holy. He absorbs it, rather. Oh, he can't morph because, that's right. All that is also disabled in the tower. All specials are. This is actually another place where Umaro is good, because the fact that you can't use anything but magic actually doesn't matter to him. He'll just use all of his attacks, so... Well, I'm glad I didn't try to use the flame shield trick for dealing with this boss, because both bosses were immune to flame anyway. It would have been pretty funny if I found fire rods and bought a bunch and been like, alright, I have my solution. Oh, 2 fire immune bosses. Fire absorbing bosses, even. It's like, okay, well, so forget that. Pod Bracelet is a decent relic. I've already got really, really great relics, so I'm probably not going to use it on any of my normal characters. At least I've got some things I can throw on people who are in my final party, though. Okay, I have 2 checks left for characters if this is not a character. Hedon and then the Kefket Narsh battle. The Kefket Narsh battle is the only generic character location. All the rest of those, the highlighted one on the left of that row of 5 is the Zen Thief. He, of course, cannot sell a character. He can only sell an item or an Esper. Same with the Auction House. You can only get items or Espers there. Kefket Narsh is the one in the middle with the Kefka image. Doomgaze, of course, can only drop an item or an Esper. Thunder Shield, I could have used that, I suppose. And then the last one is Tritok, who once again is only an Esper or item, so... Zone Seek Magicite. Okay, so it's Hedon, another place I hate. Bolt 3. Okay, well, at least I'm going to have all the elemental magics, but still no... we are still looking at absolutely no... Yeah, you need flare. You haven't learned Carbuncle yet, right? You need to swap those out, I think. There. Okay. Still no healing spells, or healing espers, besides Kirin, so it's not like I can even rely on espers to heal. So the Hedon Cave is normally doesn't give any kind of real reward in vanilla. There's a boss at the end. It's just a side quest, little mini dungeon for Strago. I need to heal up. How many tents do I have? I need to have a few left for Kefka's Tower too, but I need to get some sort of healing. I need to go find a place where I can buy tents. I think World of Balance Figaro has them, where I could get them cheap. Oh. But I need to use one, since I'm starting to run out of mana. I've been forced to use very expensive magic. But the only real plausible reward you get for it is getting the Grand Train lore from Hedon at the end. It's one of the most powerful... It is the most powerful lore in the game. It's more powerful than Meteor. It's at high enough level, comparable to Ultima, actually. It's a very, very powerful non-elemental spell, which is kind of nice. But that's it. You have all these chests, but all they have in them is coral, and you need this coral to feed to the hungry chest that blocks the way to the boss. However, in the randomizer, they went ahead, and because it is a dungeon with a boss at the end, they assigned it a random reward. Pretty much everything can give either a Esper or item, except for the dragons, who just give bonus items. But in addition to that, they made it a possible character location because of how they used the cutscene where Strago is telling his exploits to... Oops, I missed the chest. Telling his exploits to Gung Ho, which is how the whole side quest starts. He's faking injury, saying that Hedon killed it as a plot by him and Realm in order to get Strago to overcome a bit of trauma of his youth of hunting Hedon and never being able to track it down. Gung was like, oh, I'm horribly, mortally wounded by Hedon. You can go fight it now. Go and avenge me. So he's super excited when he beats it and spends all night telling Gung Ho about it. They use that cutscene to give a character, if a character is the reward for it. So hopefully it is for me today. It's another of those cutscenes where I'll just receive the Magicite or item if that's what it is. Ah, darn. Okay, I think I have enough coral now. You need like 20-something. It doesn't tell me how many I've already found. That's too bad. I'm gonna keep grabbing chests as long as I find them, but the minute it finally takes me back to the hungry chest... And this is why I hate this check, because it's all these random teleporters. You have to collect a certain amount of coral, and then you have to go through the teleporters until you reach the hungry chest. And it can take you to any room, including back to the entrance, or to the save point room, or to a horrible empty room where there aren't even chests, which it's taken me to about 3 times. I'm really certain I have enough coral now. I know it. So I don't need any more coral. Please take me to the chest. Oh, please. Okay. I'm not opening boxes anymore. Just take me to the stupid chest. I hate this check so much. Alright, here we are. Give me my boss battle. Give me my character. Please let it be a character. Ultros, okay, super easy fight. Probably Ultros 3. Based on the fact that he isn't dead yet. Even so, not a dangerous fight. Nope. Yeah, that was Ultros 3. He dies normally. Ultros 1 runs away, Ultros 2 runs away, and you fight him in a pincer attack with no battle music. Yep, character, good. Which character? Ultros 4 summons Chupan. Cyan. Cyan gives some really good checks. He has Sketch and Low Magic, so Cyan is not useful unless he can use the fixed dice. If he is, I'm putting him into the party and giving him the experience egg. Probably in place of Edgar, because I haven't found any magic boosting stuff for him. Where's my fixed dice? Nope. There's Gung Ho right there. Guy in pinkish that we passed. Okay, let's go ahead and do Doma Castle first. Get those 3 checks out of the way. This is your racer's favorite location because you get 3 checks and only 2 boss fights. Not as fond of it because, yeah, there's only 2 boss fights for 3 items. Most places where you get 3 items, you have to do like 4 boss fights and sometimes multiple boss fights like the Floating Continent, but I'll grab those after. I want to grab all the chests in here first because I'm still kind of looking for ultimate gear. I am really well set up, but I still like checking every chest just in case. Right now, tents would actually be really valuable to find because it means I wouldn't have to track them down in a shop anywhere. So I only need a few. If I get strong enough to skip all the boss battles in Kefka's Tower, all the optional ones, which I very well might be. Pod Bracelet again. Thief Glove, eh? I've gotten a couple of those. They're trash for me, really. Then, I'll only need to fight a few battles, though it means I'll only need, like, 3, 4 or 5 tents, maybe, depending on how the fights go. But I'd like to have at least 5, maybe 6 for safety. Vanilla. That's hilarious. Let's just meteor them all. Going to do better damage to multiple bosses. The Paladin Shield is the most broken item in the game, because, first of all, it teaches you the Ultima spell. It gives you, like, 50 regular evasion and 30 magic evasion, maybe only 30 of each, but it's huge, as well as having extreme defense and magic defense stats as well, higher than any other shield. And, as if all that wasn't enough, it makes you absorb 4 elements and be immune to the other 4. So you literally can't be hurt by elemental magic when you're wearing it. Any at all. They can only use non-elemental magic to hurt you. It is so powerful that it is one of the options of that if you want to have a higher difficulty randomizer, you can turn on an option. I mean, already Ultima is not available, so it won't teach Ultima. That's something powerful that's often on, but there's an additional option you can turn on where you won't find any Paladin shields by default. Because Unicorn Esper, not a surprise. The second check is the only one that can have a character here. But if you feel that Paladin shields are too broken and you don't want that difficulty, you can have them turned off. There is one you can always get from the Cursed Shield in the city of Narsh, once you have luck and can open the locked doors in the city. But You have to uncurse the shield to get that, which is quite a long process, so if you feel the paladin shields are too broken, you can turn them off in your settings, so you won't get any paladin shields, but I definitely like having them. More little puzzles here. Another warp stone that I really don't need. Warp stones are another of those items you need like 5 or 6 of over the course of a full game. It's also one of the items you can start with. I set these settings to start with 5 so I don't have to worry about buying them. I'd forgotten that when I started the seed. Close those 3 chests, flip this switch, that's that other puzzle. You find that out by flipping the switch with the other one there. No need to worry about saving at this point. In, out. Transition to the Magitech place. This is kind of cool because if you like fighting random encounters, this is an interesting place to do it, because you are in Magitech armor in the battles in this section. So if you have Terra, she gets her regular Magitech suit, where she gets all of her bonus abilities. Tech Missile, Bio Blaster, all those things that are cool. Mostly those two. But also Exfer and Confuser. I think whatever that was called. In addition to the 3 Elemental Beams and Heal Force. But, of course, when you're trying to beat a place as quick as possible, you want to avoid any battles as much as you can, so we're not fighting any. But definitely recommend fighting at least a couple battles on vanilla in that location. It's entertaining. I always go left when I should go right because it's a little shorter. Not a huge deal as fast as we move. Just going to drill the middle section. You haven't learned Bolt 3 yet, have you? Yes, you have. Okay. Speaking of which, I need to give that... Oh, I didn't after the last fight. That's where I learned it, so I need to give that to somebody. I guess it just takes longer to charge up the double cast spells. Strange that I've never noticed it before. But yeah, it's weak to thunder, so the Bolt 3 did 9k and killed it. Hilarious. Don't think it's a character because of how that was presented. Yep, Magicite Phoenix. One of the common options that is on a quest type thing is that doing that will enable all 8, and Ifrit as well, will enable all 8 sword tech abilities for any character who has sword tech, which is what happens in the vanilla game as well. Cure 3 finally, okay, as well as Bolt 2 in case I want to do a lower powered bolt. And Unicorn and Ifrit were the other, and Quick and Speed +2. Okay, and finally a Magic +2 one. So I'm going to get up, let's see, this is Edgar, right? Yeah. Even though he already has those, I'm going to go ahead and give him that for a little bit and have him get Magic +2 up. Give you, where are your running shoes? Realm has 61 with all her things, so she really doesn't need a lot. I ought to give it to both of these guys as well, though he's at 49, which is decent. But just having all that, giving some magic power growth would be pretty useful. Speed +2 with Quick as well is absolutely awesome. Those were some incredible... These are some of the best best Espers you could ever find. That's just unbelievable. All 3 Espers, because I'm finally going to have a cure spell. I'm having a magic power boosting one and a speed boosting one that has quick on it as well. Okay, Zozo. I'll get the upper chest, not going to worry about the lower chests, at least at the moment. One of the things that can be done in the game is buy the rest rid. One of the things that you can randomize is the Zozo clock, which I should have done here, but oh well, I'll do that later. I don't like to randomize it unless you put some sort of quest reward on it, because it's a cool idea. You know, you can randomize a lot of things. Why not randomize the Zozo clock so you don't just know what it is? You have to ask all of the people. More fixed dice. Underblade. And then figure out from the clues provided, just like you were supposed to in your very first playthrough. The issue is that you aren't guaranteed to have a good chest at the end of it. So unless you have that as a special quest reward bonus, because that's another thing you can have in the settings, which are really cool, is you can have secondary objectives that give you various kinds of rewards. And you can make some of them negative for some interesting challenge runs. Like, if you're supposed to you're supposed to hunt and fight all 8 dragons, but you make it so after you've killed 6 dragons, you get minuses to all your character stats. That can become an interesting challenge mode. Fire is faster. I don't like things like that, but it is something that you can do. I do find it cool to get rewards from it, though. You can have boost speed, you can turn on auto abilities on all characters, like auto haste, and stuff like that. There's just a whole lot of neat little things that you can do with the randomizer settings. Gold Dragon is a Thunder Dragon. It's immune to Thunder, uses Thunder on us, not a big deal. Most of the names of the characters I've assigned to them are their equivalents from a Genji shield. Is one of the worst shields, really, that for endgame, but useful enough. But the names I've given them are the names that there are their equivalent Moogles in the Moogle fight with Terra. Okay, so you've got Phoenix. Did he gain... He gained like 3 levels or something, didn't he? 2 levels, at least. Okay, gonna need to keep that on. Yep, gonna have to pass this around to everyone. What haven't you learned yet? Doom. Doom is kind of, I've been kind of ignoring it, but it's actually a relatively useful spell. A couple of Kefka's parts are vulnerable to it. You're learning that now. Okay, Phoenix, you need to learn something else. Although you have everything, so I ought to be having you. Not you, Unicorn, yet. Yeah, you learned those. You learned Unicorn. If you don't want to fight the dragon boss, this is another one of everyone's favorite checks, because you don't have to fight a boss at all if you don't want to fight the dragon. So again, that's why he's such a... This is a character. If it were an Esper or an item, it would look like something different. So that's nice. We get a character. But Cyan gives access to 3 checks for 2 bosses in the Doma Castle. You can ignore the boss here in Mount Zozo if you want to. Essentially, the boss is the dragon, and it's an optional fight. And then it's a very, very quick boss battle at Doma Castle, World of Balance side, to get that one. So we have Locke now. Okay, so we can do Phoenix Cave. He has natural magic and speed of 40, which is tempting to use him. Especially because he's lower level, so I could EXP rod him up really fast. Can he use fixed dice? No, he can't. So that prevents me from adding him to the party instantly. He also only has Runic, so I ought to check what spells he has for the heck of it. This is a place where I need to use Warp Stone. Much faster to get out. Definitely not going to bother with the Cursed Shield since I already have 2 Paladin Shields, as well as Minerva and Flame Shields to make me immune to Murton. But we'll want to grab the check here, since we can get it instantly. Mog has no winking animation. It's an interesting little tidbit. Okay, Stone Ragnarok or make it an Atma weapon. It's the default Ragnarok stone. That's hilarious. Okay, so I can get an Atma weapon, which would be good with my offering. So I don't need to worry about fixed dice anymore. So it would very much might be useful to bring Locke in place of Edgar at this point. Although I could also give the offering an Atma weapon to Edgar too and just have him use those. In which case I don't need to worry about boosting up his magic power as much. And he could morph with that as well, actually, so yeah, I think I might do that instead. So let's go ahead and let's see, I need to think about this. What skills are you learning from Unicorn now? Quick. Quick be good to get immediately, but she's lower level now, so I'm actually going to go ahead and take off Ifrit. Go ahead and give you Ifrit. Go ahead and give you Unicorn. And let's go ahead and give you Offering and equip Atma Weapon on you and start seeing that damage go up. Oh, I can't get the Atma Weapon yet, though. That's silly of me. Okay, yeah. But I will be able to get it once I get Terra. I didn't choose it. Haha, silly me. Ragnarok, though, I should take a look at it, too. Ice 3, Life 3, again, mostly stuff I've already gotten, no growth, so it isn't super good, but if somebody else is maxed out and needs something, they can pick up some of those. Everybody else, they still have what I've given them recently, right? Yeah. Still trying to learn those. Okay, fine. Now that I've gotten Locke, though, we can do the Phoenix Cave, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and make Locke my secondary, see what spells he has, because he might still be worth putting in place of Edgar. Because he's only level 36, so he can gain a lot of levels, get some bonus magic power and stuff. No, I don't want you. Although he would need some awesome spells, because I just don't have access to him yet. Really, yeah, keeping Edgar and just having him, how do I like to do this? I like to have you be the one on the Switch, I think. I change it up all the time. Need to give you a Moogle Charm so you don't get in fight. And just for my own peace of mind, wow, he starts with a pretty good collection. Cure 3, Murton, Flare, Ice 3, Bolt 3. But again, that would matter more if I didn't already have access to all those spells. I honestly have access to almost all of the important spells in the game. Let's see, is this... Yeah, this is Lock Alone. hard to keep track because of the... Oh, that's where the chest is. It's on his side. In the vanilla game, almost all the chests are empty. There are one, maybe two, I think, that actually have items in them. Oh, hero ring. Nice. That's bonus damage for somebody. But, of course, because all the chest contents are randomized, you can still get good things in this one. So all of the chests with spikes in front of them and stuff, you can avoid taking damage on almost all of them, but they are baits, so you don't even need to worry about nullifying them. If you... this is what they do in speedrun as well. The second party just has Mog in it with the Moogle charm, so that he can totally avoid encounters, and he can walk over spikes and it won't matter because he's not going to fight. Again, there's no boss here if you don't want to fight the red dragon at the end. Or what would be the red dragon, it'll be some other dragon, because we've already killed red dragon, and they're all randomized. That's the only chest you have to take damage on. It's not a big deal, so... I need to hit this. Let him through. And then he pops over and hits this one. Generally more convenient to have the first character do that. Now I could stand on those spikes to get rid of him, so that he doesn't have to walk across them and take 50 damage per, but it can't kill you. And again, since he's not fighting anything, it doesn't matter. But in the speedrun, yeah, you'd have Mog alone with the Moogle charm on the one party, so that you don't have to worry about walking over the spikes or getting rid of them, which saves time. And then the other party is full and actually deals with random encounters. Da Vinci brush again. Oh, chest. Which I could probably ignore, but I don't want to. I want all the chests. Tent. Yay, found a tent. That's valuable. I was going to say it's only probably worth if it's something like an Illumina, but probably it's worth going back for the tent I don't have to buy. I probably don't need to buy any tents now. Oh. Yeah, you're the fighting party, right? And whoops, I parked you right in the way. Gotta go and kill the dragon and get the last chest, because that's the kind of player I am. Cards. Worthless. White dragon. He is your holy dragon. Fortunately, I don't have mute. You can actually mute him, and all he does is cast magic because he's a boss designed for the Cult of Kefka Tower. He can't use attack, just like you can't in the tower, so that at least is semi-fair, unless you berserk him. But, unfortunately, I don't have mute. I have access to mute through the Esper Siren, but I don't have it equipped, so... should have used the drill with him. I'd forgotten my placement because it's all different from what I was using normally. Again, a little bit of a problem with having everybody be Moogles. It's hard to remember who is who. But as I say, these Moogles, the names that they have, when you, at the very start of the game, get Locke and you go to save a second gem box, okay. and you go to save Terra with Locke, the Moogles come and join you, and it's Bog and 10 other Moogles filling you out to 12 characters across 3 teams to give you basically a tutorial of how that functions. Alright, who did we get this time? Setzer. Okay, so I have Setzer, so I could give him... He has Sword Tech, which can be really high damage as well. That's a little disappointing, so... But oh well. Okay, Sabin. And Gao is last there. That's fine. Let me remove them to how I remember them being, actually, so because that's what I was for most of the game. Okay, 65 magic with her now is actually probably more than fine. So let's... She's got most of the things. She needs Unicorn and Quick. So let's go ahead and give you Phoenix with the Cure 3. You are Gao. And you are him, so yeah, doing her. She's no longer doing Ifrit with Magic +2. We want to do Unicorn to learn Quick and get Speed +2. Gao, teach Ifrit. Running out of things to do. Okay, Bolt +4. Excellent. Okay. And really, I don't care much about getting him any more spells, so let's... I didn't give her the Experience Egg. I didn't give anybody the Experience Egg, but she gained 2 levels and got even more magic, so she's probably fine on magic. So... you... Earrings, let's go with the XP Egg instead. You're doing enough damage. So now you'll get +2 magic growth and get even more. So that's it for World of Balance. Or World of Ruin for now with these characters. So I can do Doma, I can do the Figaro Cave. Let's go ahead and do Figaro Cave. So in the vanilla game, this cave upgrades its treasures twice. Each of these treasure chests has 3 different items, depending on when in the game you loot them. Because of that, I'm pretty sure the dungeon is one of the ones that is not treated the same. That's kind of hilarious. At this point in the game, that would be a Thunder Rod instead of an Ice Rod. Free heal. But at this point of the game, because of that, they're treated as separate dungeons. Okay, Ultros 2. Which these 2 Fire 3s might kill him. Oh yeah, I can do the 2 checks for Setzer now, which are back in the World of Ruin. Oh well. Get that out of the way for him. Let's go do Doma Castle, and then we'll have to go back anyway. These are pretty fast checks, so... I might go ahead and do his 2 checks, fast checks, even if we don't... I went too far. Doma Castle is back this way. There it is. I might go back and do his checks no matter who I get next. Even if it's like Terra or Silas, who has a lot of checks in this part of the world. Again, we're being attacked by Moogles. Battle of the Moogles. Various colored sprite Moogles. Not a character here. Goddess. Alright. Not intimidating since we've already beaten so many of them and gotten so high level. Let's go ahead and morph. Maybe ought to be saving more for the battle against Kefka when I'd really like to have the bonus damage. I already have Grand Train. I have a lot of good lures, but it's kind of pointless when I have Shock. Another fixed dice? Seriously? You have a Genji Glove. You have an offering. Bring in Setzer. Do 8 fixed dice attacks. Nah, I think I'm good. Alright, well, definitely need to go to World of Ruin now. I really want to do Kefket Narsh as well. I can do it anytime, but I really want to, I need to go to the right area first. I really want to do it when I have Mog because it's just more efficient. It's one of those efficiency kinds of plays you know about, so that I don't have to climb up Narsh Mountain and back down again twice. It's better to do when Mog's in your party. Okay, we got some sort of character, Sealess. Okay. I should look over at the tracker to see who it is, because the tracker is going to tell me. At this point, Sealess's check of the Magitech Factory is one of the worst ones, because there are lots of battles, 4 bosses you have to kill, and you only get 3 checks for it. A lot of good chests, if that's one of your worries. This is a pretty good dungeon. It's very fast if you ignore the chests, which I'm still not, because I don't have super perfect everything. I am really I'm perfectly fine for endgame. I'm not in danger of needing anything, especially with the levels I've got, but I'm always on the lookout for better stuff. Before I fight the boss, too, I need to check my Espers again and figure out who needs what. Or maybe I should just leave them on for growth. No, I want to get people quick as well. Another hero ring. I really ought to be getting more people quick, so... As well as Cure 3. For the safety there. Okay, you've gotten your speed up with that. Is there anything worth getting? That's here on him. Ragnarok Scan, yes, learn it, sure. You've learned Unicorn, you've got all the rest as well. So put you at nothing for now. So you gained 3 levels, which puts you up to 55 magic. I wonder if I want to go up a little bit more with that, or maybe I should go ahead and have Sabin go next. Learn Phoenix. Sabin hasn't learned Phoenix either, but he also hasn't learned either of these two, so let's go ahead and have him. Gain some levels, Ifrit. I guess I'll put Unicorn on you for bonus speed, because that's another stat of yours that's kind of low. So many ribbons as well. If you get super hyper powerful, ribbon's actually one of the better relics because being immune to all status ailments, as good as earrings and hero ring are for getting your damage up, if you're already doing 8 to 9k without it, the damage increase is not that significant, and it's better to have a more defensive ability like being immune to blind and mute, which is something Final Kefka's third stage can do to the party. Not going to bother opening the monster in a box because another Moogle charm is useless. Again, I have all the monsters in a box I need. Kuna, alright, that's some character. Not Mog, unfortunately. It might be Shadow. I think it is Shadow. Because I'm running out of people it could be otherwise. It's really great that I keep getting Mog near last, so... I should have done Fire 3. This is going to be... I think this is Ultros 4 because he's so far forward, so he's going to summon Chupan. Yep. Yeah, a bit unfortunate, but whatever. Oh, whoops, I'm casting Ice 3 with Kuru. I forgot that he's using Shock. Oh well. Did 9999, so it's not like it was a truly bad thing. No, Terra is Kuna. Okay, that's a lot of good checks then. Including one of my least favorite, but one I'm going to get out of the way since I'm here in the World of Ruin. Oh, I can go out the back. What am I doing? Didn't even look at her to see if she's any use. Coin toss. So whoever had slot, I think it was Strago, could turn that into GP Rain. Oh, I forgot. So you can't go down the stairs until the dog is finished coming into this area, but if you take one step to the left, the dog doesn't actually spawn. All my characters are powerful enough that it really doesn't matter who I fight here, who gets ejected here anyway. A lot of times I'm worried about this fight because the following boss fight you are stuck with 2 random characters, and so if you're relying heavily on one for damage, if that person gets sent out, you're in big trouble. I guess Flare still would have been better. He's like weak to bio, but has a pretty good magic defense too, it seems, based on the damage I was doing. I didn't even see who got pushed out. Okay, Yumaro. Yeah, useful Yumaro. Haha. Really, it let me keep my, as far as I'm concerned, my 2 best party members. Because at this point, with her ridiculous magic stat and the gem box and these high-level spells, Realm has moved into the highest damage position. Kumaro's starts at level 3 when whoever comes into this party starts at level 3 if it is a character. But then they turn into a... But then they'll level up to their regular level once it's done. Okay, pull him out of the party. He'll also re-heal, but I'm not likely to use him. gonna leave these espers on for a little while. Because again, I want to get Sabin up some magic power so he can start contributing damage-wise. His tools were fine for the early game, and they're still fine, but he could do better with magic if we get a little bit more magic power. I guess we might as well go up here and do Yumaro's check. If it's a character... Actually, I can check that ahead of time, which will save me a lot if I go ahead and go to World of Balance. I'll have to move a little bit away, but Narsh is close to where it is in World of Ruin, so... Back in the older editions of the game, every time you warped, between worlds, you'd be floating above Narsh. But then they changed it so that... They updated it so they remember your exact position between maps, which is kind of nice and kind of bad. Let's see, is there a character? Yes, there is. Okay, so one of the characters will be in Yumaro's check, so we'll zip back over there before doing any more of Terra's. Oh, those are my last two characters, too. Cool. Which means, unfortunately, we're Vanilla Welk. There have been so many vanilla characters in this seed. Just to avoid lengthy counterattacks, we're just going to cast magic on the head, or drill the head. Not going to take long, because Welk is not a powerful boss. Diverse boss in the game, so even with the levels it's got, yep, not a lot of hit points. I could theoretically kill the shell really quickly here, especially with the partying setup I've got. So for a 14-character seed, and so who was, yeah, so that was Shadow, so it's going to be Mog in Yumaro's spot. That's kind of hilarious. Now we're going to get our Atma weapon. So when you do those checks, whichever one is you don't choose, like for Locke's check, you can go there to get it. With Mog's check and the opportunity to switch between them, if you... that's one of the few things I can peek too, is that to make absolutely sure. So I have money. What can I spend it on? Is there like... Nope. It's really not a lot. Check the weapon shop here for rods, because if I can use those for my other characters, nope. Doesn't matter really anyway. So the one problem is that it's a pretty lengthy check to get to Yumaro because I have to go through several different things. Yeah, 37 magic power. Alright, let's go ahead and put your offering ring, your offering Atma weapon on. Need to go to World of Ruin. There it is. There's a dragon up there who I'm going to kill because I kill all dragons. There is a boss in Tritok who does not require anything, but you have to kill Tritok and get whatever check Tritok has before you can access Yumaro's cave. So if you go into the mine in the World of Balance, in the vanilla game, you'll see Yumaro poke his head out at you, giving a glimpse of him in early game. So they programmed that with the check, so if it's a character, the character who is there will come out and do the little Yumaro motions at you. So you know you'll have access to that. If it is not a character, it's just left blank in the World of Balance. Another vanilla ice dragon. Go ahead and shock. I didn't want to shock Welk because I didn't want to hit its shell and get counterattacked, but shock is still just about as good as Fire 3. Now if it survives these Fire 3s, which it probably won't, yeah, 9k damage, Fire 3 from Realm, the Destroyer. Realm the murder child, Kushu, in this case. Genji glove, okay. If I had a second offering, I could do some great things there. Cal, why don't you go ahead and heal us up? I haven't found any good armor in forever. I'm glad I'm satisfied with my armor. I'd really like, say, a behemoth suit for Realm. Doomgaze. Hopefully my characters are not level 5. I don't think they are, but 2 of them are. Interesting. I don't have any regular heals either, so... regular... I don't have life spell on any of these espers, so... not scared of that, really. We're all immune to ice. He has very, very high magic defense. Atma weapon offering, Lamo. So that was 16k, which is even more than Realm's going to do, even using weakness and Fire 3. Yeah. And if he gains more levels, he'll hit even harder. Bismarck, okay. Okay, Unicorn with its speed +2, he's up to 39 speed now, which isn't bad. Alright, Phoenix, you've learned Cure 3. We can swap you to something else. What does that get? Magic Power +1, Life 2, which I've needed. So let's go ahead and give that to him. You're up to 45 magic power now. That's not bad. Go ahead and give you Hero Ring. Give you XP Egg. I think everybody has Quick now. If not, you need to learn it. You don't. Okay, we'll have you do that then. Her magic power is fine enough. I'm not really concerned about bringing that up, but I'd actually like to bring up her, Everybody have Ifrit as well? Yeah, because I've improved all their magic power. I'll actually give you HP plus 50%. HP doesn't actually increase the damage that Atma Weapon deals having higher HP, but it your damage is reduced by percentage of life that you're missing. So I actually don't want to go that way because that's a monster in a box and I don't care about monster in the box. None of them have anything that will really do me any good. Well, theoretically, I could get Minervas from Pugs, although that's a random drop, which that's what would be in that chest normally, is 3 Pugs. Tonberries, as they were later translated as. And they have a chance of dropping Minerva, which I could give to Silas and Terra in the alternate parties, but since nobody in the main party can use it, I don't care. No Rappa. Very annoying boss, especially if you manage to get off your attack in time to kill it, which I wasn't quick enough at doing. Saves a lot of time because that condemned is really annoying. Little harder if you meet it late in this game, though, just because of in the randomizer, because it might have a lot more hit points than normal. Alright, Mog joins us, and now our party of Moogles is complete. Pretty amazing I got 14 Moogles before I got my 14 Espers. So now we can go fight Final Kefka. So we'll go ahead and do that. Although actually, I'm actually way ahead of schedule. This is much quicker than one of these seeds would normally be. I got pretty lucky finding the characters with the checks I did. So I'm going to do one final group of checks, which is the one I've been talking about just because I find it super amusing, and that's the Kefka and Arch section. So we'll do that in Mog's check. Use this as an opportunity to teach everyone, I don't know if I got any of the growth from this one, but make sure that everybody's learned Life 2. Because if I end up losing characters, since I have to rely on either Phoenix Down or Life 2, I'd really like to have Life 2 anyway. It's the one thing that I didn't finally end up with, besides theoretically better armor. So Mog's only check is the one check that is how you would find him in the world of balance, which a lot of people don't do and don't even know about because they don't think to come back and check here. But after you rescue Terra, Lone Wolf the Thief comes back to steal this treasure, which that treasure chest is locked. If I opened it now, it would be empty. Lone Wolf took what was in it. It's a gold hairpin in vanilla, and so you have to chase him down to get it back. I'm going through the wrong caves, though. I need to go through the main cave, not the side cave. The back cave. Back cave, not back cave. But you pursue him up here, and then you have a choice between saving the Moogle or getting his gold hairpin. And you pass through the field where you had previously fought the Kefka and Arch fight. During the randomizer, of course, everything is open world, so that's why I like to save this, because you can't... I ran out. I should have used a Warp Stone after finishing the Yumaro quest and getting Mog, but I was thinking too hard about this. But you can't Warp Stone out of here, so I'm going to have to run back down the mountain, which is why it's much better to save this, if you can, for at the same time you're getting Mog. We're actually going to do it right after, because after it's over, we teleport to the end. Behemoth suit. I almost want to grab that immediately, because I was just talking about wanting it for Realm. But we'll see what this is. Unfortunately, you don't get to know what that's going to be unless it is a character on a normal seed. Magicite Palador, okay. Maybe it has something like even higher Life 2 growth. Nope. Stop times 20. Ice 3 again. This is incredible. You can go entire seeds where you get like one level 2 offensive spell and that's it. And then you get seeds like this where they give you... all the best stuff multiple times. Doesn't even matter who I put in that party. Now, there is a guard skip you can do to avoid some of these guards. I don't really know how to do it, so I don't bother. Forgive me for not knowing all the super high-tech tricks. I've heard some commentators say that it's something like curling your tongue. It's a talent you're born with or that you can't do. So I'm going to force my way through them just because I'm trying to get magic points anyway. Gao's in the bottom position, which is actually convenient at this point, because he can auto-kill things. I'd forgotten that that's a good thing to do. Because whenever you get a preemptive attack or attack where you pincer the enemy, you, the character on bottom will always go first. Any attack that's considered preemptive. Also, boss fights where the, learned quick. Okay, so now that that's done... I'm not going to worry about EXP egging anymore. So let's economizer. Who are you? 7? Okay, yeah, you're fine to... actually, I'd rather give it to Gao. If Gao is done with this. Not quite, he isn't. Okay. Then that's fine, you can have it for now. Unicorn for the speed. And I guess you're learning hit points because everything else is kind of pointless. You haven't learned Bulk 3 yet, just in case I want you to use Bulk 3. Fine. Each of the soldiers, after you beat them, respawns once, so... Okay, now you've learned it, right, Gao? Yeah. You go ahead and go there. No, it's Ifrit I wanted you to do so you could get more +2 magic power. Ghost Train. Unfortunately, I don't have a blitzer who can suplex it. It has super duper high magic defense. Pretty good defense too, I think, so... But it doesn't have a lot of hit points. Even as high a level of boss as it is. Alright, looks like I was slightly off on the on what that middle section is. The little sprite with the imp that says 40 for one. No, maybe it is checks. Maybe, have I done that many checks? Okay, I didn't even look at what that what I got for that was. I was busy looking at other things. Oh no. Behemoth Esper. Okay, and again, Cure 3, Fire 3, Murton, and Bio all at high levels. Wow. Hard to believe that I've already done 40 checks, but that's... Getting 14 characters and only 40 checks is actually quite fast. So I very much could have gone and fought Final Kefka quite easily, but I'm just doing a couple of other things really fast. Oh yeah, I can go get the Behemoth suit now. I want to get that for Realm, so she's an even stronger murder child. I'm also going to loot some things really quick here, because this is a lot of chests. And again, just in case I get something else cool, like an Illumina or something. Although I'm not sure anyone in the party could make use of it. Hyper Wrist, Earrings, Red Jacket, Tintinabar, Genji Helmet, Falchion, Tincture, Wizard Orb, Hero Ring, Empty, Titanium, Magicite, Guardian. No, because no one else can use it. Red Jacket, slightly less magic, but more stamina, but also makes him immune to fire. Now, can Sabin use the Genji? Oh, he can, but that would not be as good as the Snow Muffler, really. Yeah, we'll leave this as is. Normally that opens in the vanilla game after you do the banquet, if you do get enough points in the talking to soldiers and answering questions minigame. It opens here when you get Terra. As well as the check beyond it at the Sealed Gate, which is another bossless place. Very nice check if you're trying not to fight bosses or fight battles. I forgot to heal my guys, which we will do right here. Nope, now I'm going to the wrong place again, but the opposite way. Okay, so after you do Mog's check, whichever of the two possible rewards you don't choose will be available here in the Narsh Mines on the other side. Unlike the Locked Terra one, where you need both to get both rewards from the weapon shop, you only need Mog to get both of these. You can come here at any time. The Rainbow Brush. Theoretically, Realm's ultimate weapon, but the Magus Rod is better in every real way. And it doesn't give any speed bonus, which the thing does, but the +7 magic power is so much more valuable. There's Lone Wolf, and there's the Behemoth suit. Also a Thunder Shield behind him, which is nice, too. So now, Behemoth suit, boom. Big upgrade to all of her stats. 72 magic power, 50 speed. That is so ridiculous. And 52 speed and 56 magic power on Gao. He's pretty comparable. Still learning these spells, I believe, aren't we? Yep. So we'll have to get the rest in Kefka's tower. I can actually... Oh, there's one more chest I can grab real fast. I'm going to grab one more chest and then pour it out, and then we're going to Kefka's tower. I've put it off long enough. If I was actually doing a race or trying to finish this as fast as possible, I would have gone to Kefka's tower immediately instead of playing around here. I would also speed through Kefka's tower, ignoring chests and stuff. But since I have a lot of time based on what I wanted to set aside, I can fully explore Kefka's Tower, kill all the bosses, collect all the things I want to collect. We're going to go ahead and remove all the espers so that I can prep them for each character at the right moment. Only one dragon I didn't end up fighting, which was the Opera Dragon. I could go do that too if I wanted. Okay, I like to do a second save in case I decide to come back later. Alright, now time to divide the party up. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, I have some Thunder Shields I can use too, or Fire Shields if I really need to. So I'm going to put my main party... okay, he's not dead anymore, which is good. Oh, I don't want both of them here, though. Edgar, and then Realm and Gao. Okay, the two I want to leave behind are the two lowest level, which is probably going to be Strago, who's only 18. And I guess Gogo's 25, so we'll leave Gogo. Go and do Yumaro there. Locke has natural magic, so he's actually strong, so we'll put him there. That party. Mog, I have no idea what Mog has. GP Rain. Magic I could teach, but would be kind of useless otherwise. Terra has health, so she can keep them healed. She has dance, but she isn't going to have any dances. Good magic power. Their stats, as usual, are pretty darn good, especially Silas. She rolled really high magic power, but Terra's got better speed. So they would have been really useful to build up as well if I'd gotten them earlier. Setzer has sword tech, so we'll put him here. And then the other characters who are only moderately useful. I actually think Gogo would be more useful maybe in this party than Cyan, because Cyan has horrible stats and no ability. What's Shadow got? Steel? That's pretty bad, but at least he has some decent stats. Okay. I'm fine with these parties. These two will have no problem because they each have two powerful characters in it. This could have problems depending on the final boss, but that they'll fight. But because Locke is natural magic, Gogo can have that same magic. Where's Gogo? Did I put Gogo here instead? Let's see. Oh yeah, he has sword tech. So yeah, between those two, they should be strong enough to deal with the boss that they will fight. Because the first party will only ever fight one boss. You can't change that. Which is probably a little bit of a troll intentional thing from Square. Because you would think, okay, your number one party is the one you want to be strongest. And then they put them in a spot where they only fight one boss. B, depending on how you play things, B can fight as few as one boss or as many as 4. And 5 can fight as few as 2. And as many as 5. Usually 3. 1-1-3 would be the minimum you have to focus. But you can also swap B into the spot where they fight Guardian instead. So you could do 1-2-2. Let's see. No, I'm hitting the wrong buttons now. But I'm not doing anything with them yet anyway. Okay, this party. Relic. Okay, I'll need to put it on someone. Probably just go ahead and put it on you. Moogle Charm. Hyper Risk, so you'll do more damage, whatever. You can use the Aura Lance, that's hilarious. Can't use any shields, though. That's unfortunate. I have so many shields, he can't use any of them. Go-Go. Alright, let's go ahead and give him... What would be the best to give him? Probably tools, so I can just do instant drills and stuff. I never got Blitz. I don't get Blitz in this run, so... Too bad. So yeah, tools is probably the best. I'm only going to do like 800, 1,000-ish. Might be better just to be casting magic anyway. Do I have a magic boosting weapon you can equip? The magical brush and blizzard. That's about it. Maro's using the Aura Lance, so he'll do decent damage with his attacks. But Gao and Realm are totally going to carry this party hugely. And yeah, they have exactly what they need on. He's only going to do magic damage, so he doesn't need Hero Ring. She's got Gembox Economizer. For now, I'll give you Hero Ring. And I'll give you EXP Egg just so you'll get that. Okay, Realm, do you have the Life 2 yet? No, we'll have you learn Life 2 from this. Gao... We'll give you more magic power. Because I'll be fighting 2 bosses with the... I could choose to ignore both bosses, but I'm going to go ahead and fight both. Both for the AP and because, again, I have plenty of time based on what I was setting for myself, a kind of a... Honestly, I should set this at about a 4-ish hour estimate. Okay, unfortunately not a lot of magic power from this either. Kumag can use Shock if 3000 with a basic attack at level 37. Holy cow, yeah. Having that powerful of a weapon helps. But if you get really unlucky on your choice of checks and you don't get a character until near the end, another pair of marble shoes. Okay, replace running shoes instantly with those. Don't really need to tent here. Go goes up to 29, which is great. Okay, the dragon at least will be able to teach Realm the spell. Dragoon boots. I don't think I ever found a dragon horn. I never checked if Realm could use jump either, but that could potentially make her strong, but since her magic's so good, probably not even worth it anyway. Especially since I have a couple of gem boxes. Blue dragon. Another Atma weapon. Okay, I can really make Edgar into a killer. Or... No, he's the only one who can wear that. Yeah, I can. And that would be worth it. Alright, okay, take off the Moogle Charm from you. Go ahead and give you the Genji Glove. Alright, I need to swap party, though. So Realm must have learned that from Bismarck, which is good. Going to take off the EXP egg as well. Got up to level 34, which is okay. Alright, how much is that? He hasn't learned Cure 3 yet, so I maybe ought to have him learn that if he hasn't already. Okay, you need to finish up Life 2. You need something cool. Let's give you the speed growth, because you have Cure 3 and everything, right? Yeah, you have all the spells that are important. Let's give Ifrit to... who is that? Shadow? That's probably fine. Actually, Mog has a lot better stats. Is Mog equipped? Yeah, but only with those. Shadow has +2 speed too, so okay. Shadow's stats rolled low and Mog's rolled really high, so actually, let's give you an XP egg. And I guess a hero ring, because I have plenty of them. Let's give you ribbon and a Moogle charm. So let's not give you Ifrit, let's give you something... something with huge growth, so I can learn something useful fast. Fire 3 times 15, great. You learn Ifrit, which will also teach not a great attack spells, but at least will give you +2 magic power. Alright. And then after he gains a bunch of levels from the first one, I'll swap over to a one that teaches great stuff for him. Elixir. I've never found a Mega Elixir, which is a little sad. Not super necessary, but it's great to instantly counter Kefka's Fallen One with a Mega Elixir. I could also Cure 3 the party, maybe twice with Realm if I really wanted to. Hey, there we go. Mega Elixir, nice. Never mind. If ever you fight Magimaster, he always has a Mega Elixir as a drop, so that's one of the nice things about encountering him. Even without Ultima, he can be a really dangerous fight because he has very high magic power attacks, and if you don't have elemental absorption on most of your characters, it can be very troublesome. Oh, I forgot to put proper weapons on Cuckoo. That's Cuckoo, not... So you, it doesn't matter. We'll just fire 3 her... Mama! I autoed and then I forgot to replace them with Atma weapons, which are not equipped automatically. This takes so long to do. I also need to put the red jacket on him so that he'll be immune to fire still, and I can use casts of whatchamacallit. Okay, Tritalk's dead. This is what you call absolutely broken. Merton times 20, although I could make them before using it. Alright. Yeah, Bahamut is great for you next. Okay, you learn Bismarck. Go ahead and learn... Sure, Fenrir next. Okay, you need to learn Bismarck, right? Yep. And now you've learned Fire 3 from Shote. Why don't you go ahead and... learn that and get some magic power +2 as well. Although it doesn't matter. They're probably not even going to get a hit in because of Edgar. Though, again, I need to make sure to put on Red Jacket, which drops his magic defense especially quite a bit, so he's really vulnerable to that. But, oh, also, I'd rather have him with the Mystery Veil, which makes up for the magic power by a decent amount, as well as being the magic defense, as well as increasing his stats. He doesn't need the magic power as much since he's doing super powerful Atma weapon hits, but, you know. Alright, you actually have not learned Cure 3 in all of your spells. That's hilarious. I'm just gonna do this then. I've got plenty of them, I might as well. Yeah. Just too good. Another behemoth suit. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone else can use it. Oh, Kabop can. It's nice. I actually ought to figure out who I gave the other red cap to, because I got a second one, I'm pretty sure. Give it to Edgar. Yeah, in fact, you have it. Okay, now that I've learned I don't have Cure 3, I need to put one of the Cure 3s on him. I thought that I'd gotten that on everybody, but apparently not. Phoenix it was. Okay, so you need to try and learn that before we're done. Okay, you've learned that, so I don't care. Speed +2 is fine. Ifrit, you've learned Life 3. You're continuing to get magic power +2, maybe. Doesn't really matter. They're pointless. I'm actually just going to take them off. Who cares? Edgar's going to kill everything in those boss fights now with 2 Atma weapons. Genji Glove Offering. So having more hit points doesn't increase his damage, but it does mean that if he takes a couple hundred, he's, got that much less. I have Moogle Charm on, that's all that matters for now. He has that much less reduction in his damage. That's where having high HP comes in with Atma Weapon. If they use something on you that reduces your HP to half or whatever, it doesn't matter. But if they're doing basic hits, 1,000 points out of 5,000 is a less significant drop than 1,000 points out of 4,000 or 3,000. Another Fire Rod, which I can also use for this party. Would actually probably help out a bunch. If you go left, party 3 faces the Guardian. If you go right, party 2 will face the Guardian. So you have your choice right there. They do this in the speed run because they can skip Atma and both dragons, except in 100%. But you can't skip Guardians, so and you can't skip Inferno, who is in the path of Party 3. So therefore, since rather than doing a 1-2-2 or a 1-3-3, they'd rather do a 1-2-4. Both of them can fight a maximum of 4, not actually 5. Amusing. Okay. Tools, flash. To get rid of those guys. Fire 3. Doesn't matter, we're all immune to it. Well, the two who are important are immune to it. And now... boom. Fortunately, I didn't learn from that. Hopefully the last boss will give me enough magic points to learn... Uh-oh. You were supposed to learn... Oh, you've got it. So, yeah. Okay. And you have it too, right? Okay, we're fine then. So I didn't get enough to learn Cure 3. Yeah, that's what I was worried about a little bit. Not much, but a little. Don't need to tent yet, really. Signor Behemoth. Which means more behemoth suits, too, just in case I needed them. Alright, skills. I'd rather put them on the other two, actually, but one of them ought to have them, so... Not Edgar, because I'd rather just have him kill. You, I'm going to give Siren to. You with Unicorn. That's okay, whatever. Maybe Zone Seek, just in case I decide I need that, though I won't. Yes, I never do. We'll go ahead and tent here. We'll also strip these guys. Oops, not him. Yeah, tent. Okay, Party A. I'm actually going to strip these guys as well. You can keep the Hyperos. I don't think anyone else is using that. You're using the XP egg. Okay, everybody's got decent weapons and armor. Locke. Let's give him Hero Ring and Gold Hairpin. Now, Give you Moogle Charm. I don't know what else I would want to give you. Running Shoes, I guess. I give him a gem box too. Which actually I need to give over to Sabin now. Come to think of it. Because him casting 2 spells would be more useful than... I have 2 people using Moogle Charms. Why? I got extra Moogle Charms, so I forgot about it. Ribbon and Hero Ring. That's fine. So many Hero Rings. Hero Ring and Ribbon. Sure. I have no idea what I'm up against, but we're about to find out. I have rods I can use. I have shields I could break. I have some spells I can cast. The tentacles, okay? You have some default magic. Murton I can't use. Nobody absorbs bolts, I don't believe, so... One of them does. That one, yeah. Okay. One absorbs each of the 3 basic elements. Well, whatever. None of them are, unfortunately, strong against, none of them are weak to, thunder, so it's actually worse, but... One will be healed. There we go. Forgive the screen flashing that's going to happen, but it's pointless for me to. They used it on the 2 people who don't have those on, which is hilarious. If they'd cast poison on the ribbon people, we wouldn't have any kind of a problem. Okay. What are you using? Oh yeah, you're go-going, so you're using tools and stuff. Alright, let's give you Hero Ring and Running Shoes. I guess I'll go ahead and just give you a Hero Ring. This is as good as anything else. They may contribute some to the damage. Since, as cool as Realm and Gao are, they are not going to insta-kill powerful bosses. Magimaster, of course. Let's make sure we're topped off in HP. Shock is great. Flare is also great, because it does non-elemental. Probably going to do just as much damage with Drill. Haha, don't even care. Alright, done. Okay, final save, final check of our stuff. Should have put something on to learn a little more magic, but okay, Realm, you can't use an Esper, so I don't care about you. Gao, we need to give you Fenrir. So that's for tier 3, Siren is for tier 2, and one of the other guys has it. What relics are we rocking now? Marvel shoes and earrings, that's fine. Gembox and economizer, that's perfect. Paladin shield on these two, they're our big defensive people. Last check here for relics for Sabin. Hero ring and marble shoes, or should I give him gold hairpin and gembox? I think gembox and gold hairpin would be a little better. Because at this point, although that means that he also could not do a thing, so I'll just have to rely on him before chopping everybody up to use Siren. Okay, that's fine. Okay, final fight coming up. Okay, I need Edgar, Sabin, Realm, and Gao in that order is fine. Okay, that's perfect. Now everybody fire 3 the top head. Okay, it's destroyed. Should just be using Murton probably at this point, but whatever. Shock will do close to 9999. Nope, only 6k. Sturdier than I thought it was. So much defense from Snow Muffler. Critical hit, 0 damage. Because he's in the back row as well. That helps out. Kumama is the only one who's really vulnerable to a lot of damage because he doesn't have any really great armor. Plus he's dual wielding, so he doesn't have a shield bonus, but his damage is insane, so... Okay, Siren. Oh, I almost forgot. But he doesn't have Doom, unfortunately. So I guess I'll just shock. Okay. A Doom and a Cure 3. And now double Merton. Very unfortunate so many of them are going after Kumama. But I'll be able to heal him again. Let's see if that gets him to 6K. Looks like it did, so I can shock. Okay, Dispel, that's fine. Alright, now we're just going to let Kumama kill everything. Except for jumps, which land immediately after the transition. Pretty much every action is cancelled when you transition here in the original. In Pixel Remaster, it maintained what you did between them, which was kind of problematic. Fenrir. Quick. Didn't mean to defend, but it doesn't matter. He's going to end it here. Doesn't matter. Bolt 3. Quick. Just to get his thing out. And we're going to kill Kefka the same way in the next thing. Just going to have Kumama immediately use Quick and double attacks, and Kefka will be dead. If I'm lucky, I might even get it off before the Fallen One. Or I'll wait for Fallen One, queue up a Mega Elixir. And then have Kumama quick immediately afterwards. Okay, go ahead and give it to us. Kind of hate it when he waits. Alright, there we go. Oh, I should have morphed beforehand. See how much damage I do. That was kind of one of the points of keeping Kumama in. Morph, unfortunately, took up his second turn, so it was a bit foolish of me to do that, but yeah, it actually doesn't increase his attack power. Shouldn't be surprised by that. Atma Weapon ignores most of your basic stats for doing damage. It's entirely based on your level. This is also boosted Atma Weapon damage. Atma Weapon does do incredible damage once you hit the 70s, 80s, and 90s in the vanilla game, but until then, its damage is kind of mediocre. Although it does have uses, it does penetrate defense, it does ignore offering half, and I finished a little bit before that. It's supposed to cancel on the flash. It's concentrating on that. But it is affected by back row, but since it ignores defense and ignores offering damage reduction, it can do an awful lot of damage when combined with the offering. But when you have a boosted value, you get to 30, 40, 50. It's doing 3,000 a hit times 4. That's 12k damage, more than you can do with any single attack. So it's valuable enough then. Turns into something absolutely stomp-worthy once you get up into the 50s and 60s plus at this stage. So that was my Moogle seed, or one of them, my Moogle flags. Full party of Moogles, Moogles everywhere. That was reasonably quick for one of these seeds because, just simply because the objective to get 14 Moogles is really high. And getting 14 characters can take a long time because you have to find the right 14 checks among the 60 plus checks that are out there. I didn't do the two. I did most of the checks, not even including the... I guess you probably have to include the dragons, because I'm pretty sure that those did, because this tracker is keeping track of everything that you would get a reward for. So if I did the last dragon in the Opera House, I did the 2 auction houses, that's 3 to 48, and then we had 3 more from Terra, and 10 from Shadow and Sealess. So that puts it at 60 exactly checks, and only 14 of those will have characters. Well, 12, because you start with 2. So I got pretty lucky finishing those around 220. I could have finished the game a lot quicker if I'd rushed. But since it was that quick, and I'm kind of doing this partially in spirit of helping the communities push for marathons, considering this is a meme-a-thon speed submission here, which you'll be seeing, I wanted to show off a little bit more since it was very, very fast. But you're looking at 3.5 to 4 hours for one of these normally. And the nice thing is that even if it's a fast seed, I can push it to the 3.5, 40 as I did this time pretty easily, just by doing more in Kefka's Tower, doing a few more checks if I want to. But anyway, that's going to be it for this morning. And that's going to be it for this randomized run.